Oh, this is abuse.
Oh, I went further down the hole then. I'm sorry.
Stupid git. Ah.
So hi.
So, are you ready for a difficult trivia question?
It depends on what the subject is.
Who plays the two romantic leads in Sleepless in Seattle?
Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
That is correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
See, I thought it was Haley Mills and Haley Mills. That's my bad.
I think Margaret Hamilton played the woman in the restaurant though. I'll have what she's having.
Yeah, but that's a wrong
And
movie.
your little dog too.
Right? That's not the same movie.
Could be.
Because in Sleepless in Seattle, it was the kid that was faking the orgasm.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, is that too much for this podcast?
Gary Glitter did the musical score.
Hey, we never know what the future will hold for, airing podcasts. We'll all be criminals in the future. Whenever this airs. Well, who knows when this airs in the future, right? It could be 3 years down the way, and our landscape is just an apocalyptic rubble.
When this show becomes a serial spinoff.
Yes, or that. Yeah.
WJ Town is what we'll call it.
WJ Town.
Oh God.
Welcome to WJ Town.
And that was the podcast when Widge finally lost it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Now, if you ask the friend or friends, they'll tell you that Rox was very.
What?
Yeah, Rox, she lived next door.
It all becomes a Ken Burns slow shot.
She just kept
herself
to herself.
Oh my God! So yes, so
Hey,
Dom, have you ever heard of Ken Burns in your country?
The name rings a bell.
Okay, so speak slowly as if you're on a documentary about Tuffley. Something like you're talking about him in the past, after the apocalypse.
Tuffley was one of the last people to ever read a book that was actually on paper.
Bravo!
I don't know.
Well done.
Hold on. Do it again. Do it again.
No.
No, do it again. Take two.
Now I have stage anxiety, or what? Stage fright is what it's called.
It's fine.
Fiddles will do that to you.
No, this is really
damn Union Station.
That's short of a funeral.
Well, that's the way it was done. It captivated
Back in
America
the olden days when people watched television.
For watching just photos and a man in a rocking chair.
That wasn't even television. That was a slideshow.
You know what? It bonded America.
It was a
People
slideshow.
bonded over that.
The fight of slavery bonded America.
Hey kids, remember when we went through that vacation of slavery? That was.
So
good.
I suppose we already started.
We
never really started.
Yes.
No. John,
we
do it.
started
John.
Okay, hold on. Here it comes.
Do it again. Okay.
Hold on, wait. Get over there. Oh, I can't wait to move next week. All right, here we go.
Well, there was that time back in the 90s when Widget and his wife came down to Florida, and all of Florida were amazed on how wide Widget's legs were. Neighbors went blind.
My dearest Rox, I write you to talk to you about Widget's legs. In the
Why do
wetness,
people in the South have so much time? I cannot do that accent for the life of me.
I love that.
That was
fantastic.
That was great. So we'll do our own Ken Burns thing.
Ken Burns via a British Southern American accent spoken by a German. Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, if it works for Kurt Waltz or whatever his name is.
Christoph.
Yeah, whoever. Like, I care.
He used to be on a TV show in Germany called
Please give us the German translation.
The translation is kind of tough, but the original name is Kommissar Rex, and Rex, of course, is a typical dog's name, and the dog was also, the main character actually. And Waltz was one of the many investigators who were Rex's partner, but Rex was the star of the show, so he was just one of many.
So he was a red shirt.
Yeah, but which is kind of weird because he was the police officer doing the investigation, but the dog was always the most important part of it all. I guess like Lassie.
So Dom, explain your witness protection program diagram behind you.
This is actually a very famous infographic poster. This one. It's about all the connections of characters inside of the Stephen King book universe.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. I've never seen it.
So detailed that you can never find anything. All the lines are very small, and you need glasses.
I thought it was just like all like kind of black, grayed out. That's what it looks like.
It's redacted.
From America.
Redacted.
That's how
I'm sitting in the dark,
We're all in the dark. We're all in the dark.
This is actually Stephen King.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that.
That's the gunslinger.
Yeah.
There's Pennywise. They're all staring at my back, which is kind of
Randall? Where's Randall Fly? Where is he on the he's not prominent?
You're right, that's kind of weird.
He's just
Ooh, I found a flaw.
I didn't make it. I just bought it. Right above the gunslinger, right above Roland.
Yeah, but I thought he'd have like a picture or something. All right.
Yeah, Inspector Rex had 18
seasons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
It's
shit.
amazing, isn't it?
It's the Midsummer Murders of German television.
Is it actually on the agenda?
Yes, it's on the agenda. You didn't know that?
Oh, it is.
Hold on.
Oh my God! So
It's like
Hold on.
Wikipedia here. If it's not on the agenda, it is now.
Tuffley, has your wife seen Follett?
No.
Okay, so
I don't think so. I have to.
Well, you made the magic mention of Midsummer Murder. So Follett is it's a Dutch and Swedish and an English show about two inept DCIs, one from St. Ives and one from Sweden, and they have to join forces, and they're both inept. So anyway, they make reference to Midsummer Murder and whatever, Stieg Larsson, whatever stuff. It's really funny. Especially when a perpetrator goes in the middle of some no man's land and she shoots him dead, that everyone tried to claim him, between Denmark, Sweden, and wherever. It's funny. So, Follett. There you go. First recommendation. Ding. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rox. I think that's the thing you mentioned to me, wasn't it? Follett?
Yes. Funny.
I've got it set to watch, but I haven't yet.
Very funny. Yeah. I think that's the way most police places, really work. There's cake and stuff. So, what were we talking about earlier? Sorry. Is there a playoff or something? Why are you here, Tuffley?
Why am I here?
No hockey or something?
Hey, now. They're not playing tonight.
I don't think. Yeah, they're not playing tonight. I don't think.
Okay.
I didn't look, but
Well, I'm glad to see you, Tuffley, even though I can't stay long.
yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What was that?
Random encounter.
We're using the video.
Ooh, someone rolled a 20.
It's just like playing Skyrim.
20.
Although I'm
Wow, we came to Scrooge Gold early.
I know.
Oh,
Rocks.
All
I
right,
put
I'm
your-
quick.
I was just thinking.
Go ahead.
I'm playing Salt Rim because I'm drinking a margarita.
Oh, nice. Rocks, I'm sorry I'm late on it, but I just put your package in the mail today.
Yay!
Ladies.
So,
Yay!
so
I
yeah.
put a little something in the mail for you.
No, it's something only Rocks would want. So
That doesn't make it any better.
But I know.
it's a piece
I
of the Berlin
know.
Wall. Don't
All
tell the-
right.
Yeah.
God, we got so many of that shit.
Well, I would think so.
You might just walk
Take it
outside and trip right
away.
over it.
Since it's called the Berlin Wall, I would expect you to have.
I stubbed my toe on it again. I told
No
you to
joke.
move that shit.
My dad used to visit Berlin, I don't know, 3-4 times after the wall came down,
Yeah.
and he always brought a piece of the wall with him. He didn't
Hoping
buy it, he
to
just picked it up, I guess. And we lost them all.
Yeah. The first place I went in when I was in Berlin was to go see the Hansa, where they recorded all the records. You know, where Bowie sort of recorded, and The Cure, a bunch of bands. And then I went to see the Bunker. That's in the car park.
That's what you do.
And I had a cigar.
Why didn't you just take a leak? You know, like, he died. That
Which is what most
asshole.
people do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I'm saving that for when I go to Washington.
Okay. Oh, wow.
well, you need a hotel room first, I guess.
Whoa.
So
You can also take the Ozzy Osbourne Landmarks tour and do it at the Alamo.
So did they turn all the lights off at Stalax 13 over there, or what? I mean, you're like in the dark, dude. That's better.
No, look, you switched it to John.
Bright
It was
lights.
Weird.
Bright light.
Yeah. Hey, say hi to Kraftwerk.
Wow.
Like, one of those bands that are much more famous outside of our country. Just
All right,
like
well,
the
say hi to-
Scorpions.
Where is your handy little French guy?
Yeah, say hi to DAF then.
Oh. Hi.
And she leaves.
So
What?
does Hasselhoff see that poster too, or is it just for us?
The picture of Hasselhoff, which is in every room in every house in Germany, is in
Yes.
another corner. But
You
he
know,
looks
when
at
I-
me all the time.
When I was in
Everywhere
Vienna,
you go, his eyes follow you.
when I was in Vienna, we saw Leonard Cohen, and he was playing in
Oh.
this opera house where Mozart conducted and did Don Giovanni, all this stuff. And across the street, Hasselhoff was playing, so you could guess where more people. So we got
Wow.
out of the Leonard Cohen show, and I
What a day.
walked across the street. I asked the guy at the door. I said, "Look, I'm really sorry to bother you, but can I just look in for 2 seconds to see if this shit's as real as I think it's going to be?" And
it's going to be real.
and I opened it up, and it was. I saw like 30 seconds of it. It was insane. And the guy's like, "See what you've done to my country?" And I'm like, "Hey, you're the." And I said, "Hey, you're the ones that invaded France. Leave me alone."
You brought
Hey,
this upon yourself.
Fair enough, but 2 things. It's maybe the only thing in my life that I regret that I didn't go to see Leonard Cohen when he last toured Europe.
Dude, I saw him 7 times, and it's never a bad show. What? Is
Yeah,
wrong?
well, you're just an asshole. you
His
know?
last show in St. Louis. Thank you.
I'm just
his
very,
last
very
show-
jealous. That's all.
His last show, he played 4.5 hours here.
And the thing is, Hasselhoff is now touring Germany right now
Well,
again, with about
how
10.
can you not
songs.
see Leonard Cohen?
No,
The question is, does he ever
Boutel,
stop
who
touring
doesn't go to
Germany?
see any shows. At
First of
all,
all, I
would
didn't
go to see Leonard Cohen if he had a chance.
I didn't
think.
go to see Leonard Cohen because I didn't have the funds, actually. You know, I
Yeah.
could have borrowed some money somewhere, but I thought he was so fit at that time. He was so healthy that I thought, well,
I
he
know.
might do it again.
I know.
So, but
Well-
I have the Live in London DVD, which is
That's just as good.
stellar. Just
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, dead people. I saw a few of them on the agenda as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow.
I just thought, well, the
It's-
mood is
it's-
sort of there.
It's
Well-
the Marvel Universe Book of the Dead. That's what it was.
Well,
Wow.
it totally suits his thing. So
I was just because there is some peace and quiet going on right now. I saw the Harry Potter tour in London over the weekend, which was pretty good.
What's that?
Well, it's the Warner Brothers studio tour making of Harry Potter, where you have lots of, it's in the studios where they actually shot it.
Oh, you're in Pinewood.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Pinewood actually. I think
it
Pine. No, I don't think so. Otherwise, I would have remembered the name because also Pinewood, I think, isn't it still in operation and being used as a studio?
Yeah.
That one.
Okay.
Just the tour right now.
That's cool.
I will send you a link to my Instagram because my girlfriend is a bigger Potterhead of us two, so she took a lot of time. We were in there, I don't know, 3-4 hours, and I was done a little bit more quickly. So I just did a story in each and every room about. No, I don't know, not one story in each and every room, about 10 per room, and it's pretty good. But it's kind of freaky to see all the original wardrobe put on mannequins. Where they have just a white face or a black face, and it's really kind of eerie.
Yeah, the same people that did the Doctor Who museum did that, I think.
Oh, I hate myself. That's another thing I might regret if I wasn't a fan back when I was actually living in Cardiff for 3 months. Otherwise, I should have seen the exhibition there.
Aren't they doing aren't they moving the experience sort of to London anyway?
They're trying to move it. They're trying to figure out where they're going to put it. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But Derek, are you going to London again soon?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Might. I love London. I just didn't realize it was me.
Yeah. So when you go next time, and I can send you a link, go to the Ealing Studio Tour.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And then I'll also send you the address. There's an address in up near Eton where Peter Cushing's house. At one point, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee lived on the same block, and you can see both their houses.
Yeah.
Is there still toilet paper on the houses?
It's in Camden. No, I remember this very nice man went out to get his paper, and I was walking with my wife, but I didn't tell her that was the purpose of us taking a stroll. And I said, "Hey, sir, did you know that Peter Cushing used to live in this house?" Well, they don't live here now, so bugger off. So
I have this conversation 10 times a day.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you for informing me, random tourist.
And if you go to Manchester, there's a really great Manchester tour I can send you the link for too. That's awesome. Because they take you to the old hacienda and they take you to where the Salford Lads Club and
I will take all the tourism information on Europe you can give me.
Yeah, it would be like you could pretend like Tuffley and I were there, but it wouldn't.
That's just what I want for Christmas.
You could pay Tuffley and I to come over there and tour you around famous music spots of England.
I guess I could.
Wikipedia says what this is.
And if you spend, I sent the link to Widge a while ago, but there's a thing you can do where you can stay the night in Abbey Road.
Just on the street.
So without cars, driving over you.
No, in actual Abbey Road, not like on the street thing. No.
Well, that's an Abbey Road.
What a hobo reply.
I know.
Yes.
So you could stay in somebody's front yard.
Yes.
The Neverwhere experience.
I know.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah,
Miles Rogers chases you off the front porch.
If anyone in England ever wants to make money, they need to make a Neverwhere walking tour. I don't understand why there isn't one, but that's okay.
Tons of authors copying.
Are you sure of that?
Ideas,
I've asked around, and I remember I asked Neil about it once, and he said he didn't know of anything about it, but that was like 5 years ago. But yeah, as far as I know, there isn't an official one. I'm sure there's like a, somebody that could walk you through a bunch of the stuff, but
some guy who can point to sewers and go, "Yeah, this is what he meant."
You could probably spend 3 days at with all the shit that's happened there.
Yeah.
Yes, this is actually the Marquise coat I am wearing right now.
Yeah.
Damn you!
I know.
So dead people.
Best coat
Continued,
ever.
I'm sorry.
No. Dead people was a bad segue.
What? Oh, are we in the?
There is no bad segue on this show.
No, it's all bad.
Never a segue.
No. It's
Time Time for the jazz beat.
What's happening?
Wow, I never realized how much that sounded like the theme from Sanford and Son.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
No, that one goes.
you know, Night
yeah,
Court was
you're right.
pretty amazing. 'cause
Harry Anderson.
Yeah.
Night Court was pretty amazing
Oh,
because
yes,
not only
thank
did you have, you know, Richard Mull and John Larroquette, but you also had Selma Diamond, who was like this
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
my
huge
God,
presence.
great.
She was
and-
amazing.
yeah.
Yep.
But I'm very sad about Harry Anderson. That's just sad.
John Larroquette. He was on that show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the bits he did from SNL.
Yeah, I loved the. I first heard of him when he was on Cheers, and then
Yeah.
he was doing like he did a magic show here before he was even famous, and we went and saw it. It was like $10, but it was no comedy or anything, just him doing magic.
Yeah, that I
And it
think
was-
that's what got him on SNL was the magic bits. And so he was doing he would do these little magic segments, and then I think that was before Cheers, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, that's what I remember. That's where I first kind of saw him, and then I never did see Night Court when it was actually on television. It was like I saw it late night, like when I started working, like second, third shift. I would come home and Night Court was on at very weird hours of the day.
Yeah,
Night Court was on at 4 a.m. I don't know why, but
yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I'd watch Night Court.
I think that's what they used to plug in whenever they had an opening.
Mm.
Yeah, because I mean I watched it a little bit when it was on, but I mostly saw it through reruns.
Yeah.
I
But I
think
think-
who had that? Was it an NBC show?
That was NBC.
It was an
I think.
NBC show.
yeah.
They had this huge
So-
sitcom juggernaut at the time.
They
and it was kind of
did,
the
yeah.
It was the runt of the litter, but it might have been the best of the.
I think so because that was what late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You know, I mediate and I always wander into like the pre-small claims court thing, and I'm always disappointed. The funny thing is, some of the judges they like banter back and forth with the bailiffs and stuff, and but it's doesn't have that quality of Night Court. Just go to mediation. Go follow that woman. No. So, anyway, it was a good show. How long did that run?
Wasn't that like 7 years or something? It feels like it was
6 or 7,
I
yeah.
think it was
Yeah.
9. I wanted to say 9 for some
Oh, was
reason.
it? Okay.
Well,
Let's
the
see.
credits on the
Yep.
YouTube.
9 seasons.
Was it 9? Okay.
Wow.
The credits on the YouTube audio.
It ran a
from-
really long time. Yeah.
So it ran as long as
Hello?
Seinfeld was, what, 9 years, right?
Seinfeld's 10,
I
wasn't
don't
it?
know.
Sam,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or maybe. No, 9. You're right.
No,
No,
it-
I'm sorry. I
yeah.
was thinking of Frasier. I think Frasier was. What was I thinking of Frasier? I think Frasier was.
I think Frasier is still on
10.
somewhere. I think.
No, 11.
I
Yeah,
think it's
it's on,
still running.
It's on Lifetime.
Yeah.
After Cheers. They run 3 episodes a night.
It's one of those shows where it's like,
It's like, oh shit,
World,
is it
it's
still
equitable
Oh
going?
my
hours a
god,
day.
it's like one of the Who's the Boss? And you're like, wait, how long has that been on?
No show has aged more terribly than Who's the Boss.
I never have seen Who's the Boss, so I would not be able to tell you.
It really it felt old when it was on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. I seen it at some point, but I do not remember it.
Oh, I don't either. It's all I remember is it's Hellman, right?
Yeah.
She
Judith.
was always
Captain
yeah.
Hellman,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember.
Watch
And
the
then
opening, watch the intro, and you have seen the show.
no.
Are we? Maybe it's mass hysteria. Did the show actually exist? Does anyone remember?
There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of like mid '80s sitcoms, American sitcoms that just sort of
Yeah.
pass through you.
Yes.
And you don't
Yes.
you don't
like-
really
Yeah. I
Tachyons.
yeah.
have a friend who's writing a book on 80s sitcoms right now, and she's like amazed at just the amount of just crap that got on
Crap
TV.
that was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Full House.
Oh,
None of us
Jesus.
watched Full House back.
Well, I mean that's really it. That's the sad thing. It's all like those mid '80s sitcoms that sort of bleed together and probably are the Voltron of. You could make them into a Voltron of American bland television comedy, and you still couldn't remember any of it. But,
Well,
Yeah.
we'll even look at like Golden Girls. I mean, it was never really a top producer, and yet it clung on to life forever.
But it was fun. It was funny.
B.
Yeah, it's really
Arthur.
fucking funny.
B. Arthur forms the leg.
Man, one of the funniest nights of stand-up I ever saw is the night I saw B. Arthur do stand-up. That was,
Oh my
that was-
God.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Oh my God. She did
Well,
a
it's like-
Q&A.
It's like the smart thing that TV Land have been doing, where they basically find 3 or 4 actors from various TV shows of sitcoms of the day and put them together in their own sitcom. And apparently it works.
it's
Yeah,
cheaper
good.
than licensing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, look at Hot in Cleveland. That last.
Yeah.
That ran way longer than the joke
should.
lasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I blame Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, but
I blame divorce settlements actually.
yeah, well,
Although to be fair,
She could have gotten a better deal, but she.
to be
didn't.
fair,
Yeah.
it did. Anytime Betty White put some cash in her pocket, I'm all for it.
absolutely.
Yeah, but that brought Mary Tyler Moore back briefly.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There was that one episode.
Yeah,
So we'll give a pass to that one.
yes.
But it sort of brings up this wave of like '90s shows that are now being rebooted or brought back or just.
Well, I mean,
I don't get
but-
it.
Well, okay, but then
Well, they're
look
even
at
bringing back all the '90s bands, which is also kind of frightening in and of itself.
look at
So.
what Will and Grace came back and Roseanne came back, and I'll tell you, it's just as funny. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sorry, and that's fine. People can enjoy that. I just feel like, okay, here it is again.
Well,
Yeah.
but I think we're sort of entering into the sort of setup that, again, British television has, where you never know when a show will come back for like a season or a special, just because
Yeah.
we check ever. But
Well, I think the other thing is that network television is so desperate to find something that people will actually watch
Yeah.
that the thing people will actually watch is stuff they know they've already watched before,
Yeah.
but it feels
But you.
but new and older. And
so is that why there's still a Law and Order on the air?
was there ever a Law and Order
I
not
thought
on
they
the air?
I think if we go back, we'll actually find that Law and Order started in the 50s and did under.
I mean, dear God, if you had told me in when Law and Order was going on, or when all the Law and Orders were on, that the Law and Order left standing would be the one Ice-T's in. I mean, come on.
Well, he is Ice-T, and you probably
I
don't want to
know.
make him mad.
I know. Well, no, I've pissed him off on Xbox Live, so it's fine.
One
What?
thing.
Oh, what?
I still like the idea of doing a Law
A what?
and Order 9, Law and 49, and having a Law and Order set in the future with Richard Belzer playing an AI version of himself, and he's the captain. Oh, I was very happy because when I tweeted that, Richard Belzer liked the tweet. So
You know, sadly, at first when I came across Happy, I thought Maloney was going back to Law and Order. I thought they just retooled it.
I still need to watch that. The casting alone sold me on that, but that is on my list, the short list.
Yeah. It's a bit of a trip.
Although I'm making time for Werner Herzog, which at some point we have to get you to watch because it is a life-changing experience. Because the man's insane.
Yes. And if you're saying that, then he must be.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Sorry.
where Sam Jack acting class one. And it must be,
Nice.
and it must have worked because the Hotel Artemis trailer that just came out. One of the guys who was one of the students in that is like the clerk at some point. So he appears in the trailer.
Oh, cool. I like that trailer.
Jodie Foster.
I was so surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I'll see it just for that. You know, that's good.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Lars Van Trier episodes of Roseanne to air.
Wait, that was actually, Rob. They already did that. That was in the last season.
Oh, okay.
That was
Great.
that was in the last season of the original show where they killed off John Goodman and had
Spoilers.
people
And
under
there
the
was-
stairs and
Baby Jerry Garcia.
yeah,
So, John
and the
Goodman,
Pogues.
last time we had a membership drive at the radio station, John Goodman called in and gave money on the phone.
Whoa.
And they're like, "You're not really John Goodman." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I am." And he's like, "Okay, what was the name of your character in Matinee?" And he just started quick. Goodman's
Nice.
like,
Good call.
Goodman's like, "Do you want my money?" So yeah.
I love Martinet. That's a good movie.
Yes, it is.
What's interesting to me about the television debate is that your market is so vastly different than ours because even a shit show in the US, when you look at the ratings, still has a lot of people watching it because you are so many and you speak the same language. And usually your market is the one that advances and deals with change quickly. But in this case, you're very, very slow.
Yeah.
So the
Yes.
only thing that is really new coming out of the US is Amazon Prime and Netflix. And Netflix is pretty much, as long as Disney hasn't pulled the plug on all its content and starts its own service, it's going to be pretty boring. But as soon as they start to do it, it's going to be very, very exciting for a short time at least. Let's see what happens then.
You know that
So did you
they are
watch
starting their own
Knight
service, right?
Rider? So Dom, did you watch Knight Rider?
Of course. I'm the perfect generation for Knight Rider. I watched every episode several times. Or as we try to pronounce it, Knickrieder.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
What about
That's
18? Did you watch the 18?
They were back to back. Knight Rider,
Yeah.
A-Team, same
Oh,
station.
wow.
Well, the A-Team, the ratings
Living
for
the
the
dream.
A-Team were so well in England. They were tripled the ratings for Doctor Who that they were one of the reasons why they canceled Doctor Who is because the BBC realized they could run the A-Team
Really?
in
Oh my
that
God.
slot and make tons of money. And that's one of the reasons why the show got
Wow.
put on hiatus in the 90s
That was
because of the
crazy.
success of the A-Team.
But the thing is, there was this very, very awful documentary, Let's Bring Back the A-Team from the UK. Has anybody seen that?
Yo.
No.
Don't.
I did see Mr. T in a Denny's once.
Say hi next time.
That's almost
No.
like bringing back the 18.
It was great. He had a briefcase. He opens and people would come up to him, mostly kids. But to be fair, I mean, he's spent tons of time. He opens up the briefcase. He's got his pre-signed photos of himself and just hands them to people. I mean,
Don't
Does
touch
anybody-
my pancakes.
Does anybody of you who's very into music, and I know we have at least one person on the podcast, know Udo Lindenberg?
I'm sorry.
No.
Udo Lindenberg. He's a German. I don't know what his direction would be. He's not really punk. He's not really what we call
Kind of
popular
noise,
music.
isn't he?
It
Is he really the sort of the Noi movement? Kind of.
might be because I don't know the term.
Yeah, I don't know either. But he's kind of in that like banging on things, making abstract noises.
No,
kind of
not at all. Not at all. I will.
Okay, don't think it's somebody else.
I will write the name because you probably have trouble
It's
Um,
UDOLINDEN.
That's his name. He's pretty legendary here, and I know from a friend of mine who
Udo
worked.
somebody. Yeah,
He used. My friend used to work at a airport as a, well, not really security personnel, but one of the people who says, "Yeah, well, this is your row. Go there." Blah blah blah. And they were informed once in a while Udo Lindenberg flies with us, and he goes through the security check. And if he's not being asked for an autograph, he will go through the security check again. So you better ask him or he will miss his flight. Which I found to be very, very charming, because he always still felt like, oh, of course, I might have a photograph with me. I might have. And then he would sign it. I like that. Okay, what's that?
Immer geradeaus. Manchmal geht es auch nach unten. Das, wonach du suchst, hast du noch immer nicht gefunden.
No, man.
Ziehen im Flug.
Assuming that's the guy himself.
Yeah.
No, that's just some other guy I found on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
You like
He's no Falco.
And no. And again, who is? And Falco is not German anyway.
Yes, I know.
Just for clarification for the people.
He's Austrian. Like Mozart
Yeah.
and Hitler.
Yeah, I knew it. I was waiting for this.
Don't mention the war!
Every-
I'm sorry.
That's fine. You know you can mention the war and Hitler anytime when I'm on a podcast. I can deal with that asshole. He's dead.
You know what's funny is that my
That's actually not the first time Hitler's come up on this show.
Actually,
No.
I listened to
You know,
a couple
Don,
of episodes before.
I have a
Yeah.
friend of mine who's marrying a German girl, and I'm supposed to DJ their wedding, and I have a list of songs that I'm supposed to play. I should send you the list.
Do they
course,
have a list
do.
of songs you're not supposed to play, Rob?
Yes.
The Marseillaise is very, very popular.
Yes.
Actually, it's a good song.
Like, do you have a mixed version of Deutschland über alles?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
The
okay.
dubstep version.
I was
Let
just
me-
gonna do.
Stop,
You know what?
stop,
I was
boy.
just gonna do a 99 left
Rocks,
joke.
rocks.
But that's wow.
Let me drop some knowledge here. I hate to use the phrase, but it's what I'm doing right now.
All right.
It's what you just quoted is the forbidden part of our anthem. We are not allowed to sing that out in public.
All right.
But there you go. But the melody of the rest stays the same.
It's
So
staying the same. Okay.
yeah, it's just our anthem.
Okay. See, Rob,
Please stop.
I'm saving you embarrassment by doing this now.
He cut out, so didn't hear any of it.
I missed you guys.
But I might give you some hints on if you share the list with me, I might come up with a few songs that you have in the back catalog if the night goes long.
Well, a lot of it's stuff that they want for like the family stuff, and it's like they're going to give me MP3s of it. But yeah,
Oh, I have better songs.
okay. Oh, I bet I'll have to listen to them first because I don't want to get in trouble.
No,
No,
they
Ram-
will all, they will all
You-
be German.
None of your Ramstein or any of that.
You
crap.
won't understand anything. I'm not into Rammstein. I really never got their sound. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't like
Well, that's
it.
good because they're coming back, like everything
Oh,
else.
yeah. They never were away. They never went away. They just
Oh.
they got more
See, over
expensive.
here, they're billing the new album as like they've never got they went away and they came back.
Okay.
Did
Yeah.
they have just one album?
No.
No, I think they have.
No.
I think they have two reissued 3 times.
No.
No, it's actually just one
Fools!
song.
Yeah, he's right. It's one song that's just repeated.
Yeah.
Really
Like
it
all the
is.
great bands.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Pause
The refreshers
Or
every-
just
All right,
keep
quick,
listening.
go to that non-existent agenda for the agenda. Art Bell, R.I.P. Art
Oh.
Bell.
Oh, that makes me
Bye,
sad.
Harry.
Oh my
I
God.
thought he had died.
So I
thought
figured
he-
out. So I
I
figured out
thought he had
this is
died
a,
years ago, but go on.
Yeah, I think this is the penalty. Every time we get to a quiet part, we have to bring up a dead person.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
The
man.
new game.
And if we run out of recent deaths, it's going to be Hitler again. I just know it.
But Hitler's not dead.
No. We can do.
He's dead.
Top five. Top
You were
five.
very quick- you were
top
very
five
quick to respond
deceased
to that.
ruthless dictators. Go.
Yeah, him and Pol Pot are putting out a zine in Cambodia. Yeah.
That's not right.
Wow, I got that out of you.
So,
Wow.
so what was the last recording for Art Bell? I mean, ever since the other guy,
George Norrie
George Norway,
took over.
yeah.
I think he did like his own show in 2015, but I
Mhm.
think it was like a few months.
Yeah.
Oh, because I would pick up like an odd. Somebody has, you can get on Pandora if you type in Art Bell. Sometimes you can get an old Coast to Coast.
Nice.
So yeah, you can try that. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a subscriber, so I could download his shows.
So what was your best conspiracy from Art Bell? I'll tell you mine after.
To me, there are two things. First, that I loved Art Bell for. First, he is I have ever been able to work and listen to at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I am working, I'm generally working, with words and shit. So I can't even listen to like new music because the word in my head, and it's hard for me to process how the brain works. But for some reason, Art, his voice had such a quality to it.
This is Art Bell.
It was
You're
so
on the air.
soothing. It was just
Oh, it
very
was such a
soothing.
great voice.
Yes.
But so that was one thing, and the second thing was I loved when long enough you hear him, as I call it, break character, which means someone would call in, and they would have the story as anybody else, because that was the thing about Art is he had complete credulity. I mean, he took whatever you were going to say, and he didn't really fight you on it. But every once in a while, he saw these, lights over Denver or something, and he would be like, "Are you sure you weren't just like in the flight path of an airport or something?" And he would just one person out of 10, he would suddenly just start questioning them. It was almost like I got bored, and I'm going to sort of, because I've been doing this for like 12 years.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I heard him I heard him like twice do that. And one was a guy called up and he believed that how we could utilize all the defunct battleships that we just have, rotting away is we hurl them into space so we can create Battleship Yamamoto. And he's like, well, when you thrust those into space, they'll break and no, it'll be fine. Well, there's all these holes in it. I mean, he was just, and
That's
then the
fine.
other.
Did you not watch the show? It works out. It's fine. It's okay.
Yes. And then the other one was a guy.
Only Roy dies.
He wanted to collect Art Bell, not as a specimen, but pick him up so that they could go hunt and shoot a Sasquatch.
Nice.
And Art's like, well, I think I'm busy forever, and pretty much was able to blow the guy off really well. But this guy was adamant that he could, hunt down Sasquatch and that we would have a trophy. That was the thing. He's like, wait, you want like a head of Sasquatch on your wall? Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
Nice.
Yes.
Although, yeah, and every once in a while, I have the call from Oscar on the website still, but I've yet to be able to find my my favorite call because I was in the car when it happened, and I laughed so hard I almost drove off the road.
What was it?
This guy calls in because the thing about Art as well is that he had no call screener.
No.
So when he said, you basically called in, you were in the queue, and when he said you're on the air, you were on the air.
Yep.
And I think only later did he add like something, and he would get people who were confused because he worked that way, and most shows don't.
Mm-hmm.
People who just had no idea, were so confused that they didn't realize who they were talking to. And this guy called in, and he's like, Art Bell, you're on the air. Good morning. And the guy goes, who is this? And he says, this is Art Bell. He says, this is Art Bell. He says, yeah, this is Art Bell. You were calling the Art Bell show. I am Art Bell. The guy goes, he says, yes, I am. I'm Art Bell. He says, no, you can't be Art Bell. You're not Art Bell. And he can't convince the guy. So he finally goes, all right, fuck it. And he says, okay, all right, fine. You're right. You're right. I'm not Art Bell. The guy's like, you're not? He says, no. Well, I am a computer that's been programmed to respond as if I were Art Bell. And the guy starts going, oh man, that's not right. And Art goes, yeah, I know it's not right. He says, oh no, people shouldn't be calling up to talk to Art Bell, and they talk to a machine. You're like the third person to ever stumble on the truth. And now you know. This is all going out over the air. And Art goes, well, if you had gotten Art Bell on the phone, what did you want to tell him? And the guy goes, I was going to tell him, about. And Art says he's the computer, of course. Says story. The guy goes, no, I don't want to tell him. Proceed with your cat story. And the guy, so the guy, all right, fine. So my cat, he stashes rubber bands underneath the fridge in the kitchen, and he'll lay on his back and his forepaw and play them like they're a musical instrument. But just the proceed with your cat story multiple times and more demanding until the guy said, all right, fine, you evil computer, I'll tell you the cat story.
That should be a t-shirt, just his face and proceed with your cat story.
Oh, it was brilliant. Another time was that he got a guy.
We're waiting.
So that Art Bell had called him to, assumed that he was ordering a pizza, and so was trying to take the guy's pizza order. Oh, classic.
Good times.
Moments. Good times.
That's really what season 2 of Westworld's going to be.
Bye, Rob.
Bye.
Oh, bye, Rob.
Bye.
Pause that refreshes every 15 minutes on Weekend Justice.
All right.
Gonna break
Quickly scrolling over to that agenda.
Which isn't completely an agenda at all, really. It's just a smokescreen.
Yes, it is. So let's see. Ocean's 8. All right, so the reboot of Lost in Space, since we're talking about Lost, reboots and everything. Lost in Space came
I haven't
back
seen it yet.
to Netflix. It's not horrible.
Really?
I've heard that, and I think what throws people, I think you've got two different camps. I've heard the reviews on this. Either it's okay, I get it, I see what they're doing, or fuck it, it's just not campy enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been seeing some videos about, some who like June Lockhart and old videos of stuff of, talking about doctors, Jonathan Harris and stuff. So I don't know, unless they camp it. Here is the thing about Lost in Space when they say about the camp. originally when it was in black and white, this Dr. Smith character was a straight character.
He was a spy.
He was a spy or whatever.
Well, they never did figure out what the hell he was, but
no. But I mean, they played it as straight as possible, and then all of a sudden it's like, go ahead. do what you want to do.
Because I think, what was it, the first season where they tried to play it as a straight show, and then
actually maybe 6 episodes.
Really? Okay.
Almost. And then once it became the color years, then it was all camp. Well, at least Dr. Smith being camp. Everyone else is trying to be serious and stuff.
It's like Airplane, right? It's like Airplane, the sci-fi show.
Yes. Yeah. There was it's really weird on how like actors interact with other actors. I saw this one video interview with Jonathan Harris, and he said something like, I would say it's like, what? So he went to who was the guy that played the dad?
Was it Guy Williams?
Guy Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
So
God, I knew that. Wow.
Okay, you're actors. This is the thing. You guys are actors. So he goes up to Guy Williams. Jonathan Harris does. He goes, we can't be friends. It's like, because apparently this, at the time, Jonathan Harris was getting more, notoriety and stuff. And Guy was, I guess, down in the dumps and stuff. And Jonathan Harris said this stupid thing that to the day he died, he's like, I totally regret saying this. And, so there was like a little bit of heart in Jonathan Harris. I met him years and years ago, but, he was great. And it was interesting. He had this cool ring that he wore on the show. And even when he was doing, conventions and stuff. So, I can only hope that Parker Posey could bring that kind of craziness, which I think she's trying to, but she comes off as more sociopath type of thing, so we'll see how it goes. But the two girls, the actresses playing Penny and Judy, they're getting more screen time than what they'd gotten in the show, or way back in the day.
Yeah.
And Maureen and John are having issues and stuff. So it makes it very interesting.
Yeah, I some of the like I said, some of the reviews are basically split by, okay, I get it. They're trying to do this as a more serious sort of sci-fi show, crime drama sort of thing, and the other camp is basically, when's this going to get campy? When
the space hippies show up.
Yeah, when the space hippies show up.
It turns camp when the space hippies.
It's all fun and games until the space hippies show up, Rocks.
Right. Yes. Or some old vaudevillian shows up to spread time out. Here we go. Can we bring up Al Lewis? Oh, sorry, he's dead.
That's never stopped anyone.
We can't bring up Al Lewis until the podcast pauses again.
Okay. Darn.
Speaking of death, I see on here that Necco wafers might be dying.
I know. Oh my gosh, this is the horror of it all. So, New England, what is it called? The original name is like New England Candy Company or something like that. So those little slivers of candy that are circular, and everybody hates them except me.
I like them.
Okay. Well, if you're Catholic, you pretend that they're communion hosts. So
it's
they come in
sweet body of Christ.
Sweet body of Christ. That's right. So they come in flavors of chocolate, like a peppermint, lavender, orange, and something else.
Lavender.
They come in, a roll, and they're in wax paper and everything. And So this company they also make squirrel nut zippers and sky bars for you who want to know.
Not the band.
No.
There were a few words in there I've never heard in my life before, but okay.
Sky bar or
no, before that.
Squirrel nut zippers.
Squirrel nut zipper. Sounds like a sex term. I don't know.
All right, so there's a band named after the candy, which is the name that you've never heard. So it's basically taffy candy with, I think, peanuts in it. And if you have braces or something, you'll shatter your braces.
None of this is going to go well with your dental work.
No, absolutely no. So they're looking for a buyer for the company. So right now, if they don't sell the company the beginning of May, then, who knows down the future when this show airs, it might be still around or not. So there is now a run on buying up the Necco wafers. And I think they have like a half-life of at least 150 years.
You know what's weird?
So some of those are actually the original Necco wafers. They're still out there.
That's right.
Before the podcast, I was laying in bed. That's all I wanted to say.
As you're wont to do.
But I was watching some episodes of Psych, and the episode that I had watched featured Necco wafer several times in the episode. And I also happened to watch, not on purpose, the Tuesday the 17th episode, which is, for purposes. So weird, right? So Necco wafers, Tuesday 17th.
Necro wafers.
But Jolt is coming back. Jolt Cola is coming back.
Is it?
Is it?
Really? What is?
Yeah. Jolt Cola.
To the United States?
Really? Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just to the United States. I already have written emails. I'm not getting anything.
People send me some contraband.
Yeah. I only passed my intermediate exam at uni because I'm convinced. I drank about a gallon of it a day.
How's your liver and spleen?
Oh, better. Since they don't have it anymore.
We even have a new guy. Hey, new guy. New guy.
New. Hi.
Hello.
He's so new. He needs to hear this.
I recall I once sent Scott a gem porn that I found.
You may have sent it to the wrong person.
Yeah, you sent it to the wrong one.
It was Scott.
Is it really? Brian, what are you drinking?
Can you hear me? This is slushy.
Yes.
This is cherry slush.
Did you hear Jolt Cola's coming back?
I did not.
Do you know what Jolt Cola is, or are you too young?
No, I know what it is. I was thinking of Surge that came back recently too.
Yeah.
Is Surge still a thing?
Yeah.
Are they still making it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have it at the Quick Trip.
Okay. I miss caffeine.
Have you quit completely?
No. I haven't. I just can't have as much as I used to.
Your gallbladder will thank you.
Well, not really, but it's just I had to stop because apparently you need sleep sometime. I've been told.
Yeah.
So you can get Jolt Cola at needcoffee.com/Amazon. It's available on Amazon right now.
I need that gem action figure. If that is an action figure, I need it.
Well, it's not an action figure; it's just an ornament.
Still need it.
Is it from Hallmark? You can probably find it on eBay now.
Oh wait, what do you got there?
What is that?
A little Hulk.
That's a little Hulk. Oh, hey.
Oh, wow.
I can pull lots of stuff from underneath the counter.
Whoa!
I can too. Look, I got tin foil for a hat that I need to make later on.
And there's a victim on the shelf behind you, Rox.
They're resting.
Sorry. They were known to say before they passed.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
So the next hang on. So the next dead person cannot be the one in Rox's room already. That's a point that
That's true. It's now when we bring up Al Lewis. I think now it's Al Lewis.
Yeah, so Al Lewis was grandpa. No, he died some time ago.
Wait, what does Wikipedia say?
He did.
Right.
So Lee Ermey, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm stumped. Who's that?
Gunny.
He's the Gunny from Full Metal Jacket.
And
Full Metal
What?
Jacket.
and Sarge from Toy Story.
He's the one who spent minutes upon minutes of screen time destroying Vincent D'Onofrio and
Okay.
yes.
And he's been in about a bazillion other things too. But
Yes, he was. What I will say about R. Lee Ermey is that he was horribly miscast in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He was 10 times as scary as fucking Leatherface.
Oh, okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre has aged terribly. I watched it for the first time, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I just laughed.
The original Tobe Hooper one, right?
Yeah, the original.
Oh my God. When I found on the floor laughing, and I can only assume it's because it was rumored to have
blood, buckets of
subliminal
it,
messaging in it, and
blood everywhere too.
I thought the subliminal messaging, because my brain was so warped, it just had interpreted it wrong.
That's the movie that, what is it, Medved went. Which one said that this is like the bloodiest film? They never saw this film.
Yep.
They never watched. He walked out and wrote up some it's a horrible film, but he never watched it. There is no blood in that film, the original.
The Shining, on the other end, has a few gallons.
Yes, absolutely.
It borrows some from other films.
Yeah. And
it literally goes next door to other films.
No. You know what? That's Tobe Hooper went, oh, where's all our blood? Oh, it's being used for The Shining. Okay.
Shit.
Daniel Kubrick.
And now a new movie has borrowed that blood for its own movie. Ready Player One. Have you seen it?
It borrows everyone's blood.
Yeah, but there's a complete Shining sequence in it, and it's the best part of the movie.
Is there some blood you're fond of and you remember from a couple of years ago? Damn it, it's in that film.
I have to admit,
stuff you haven't even thought of yet.
I haven't seen it. So is that movie
sequence
good?
stuff? I really enjoyed it.
Do you need to read the book?
No.
Okay.
I read the first few pages and I heard a lot about it, and I know that it is not very faithful, because how would Spielberg possibly visualize text adventures? I guess he could, but it would not sell very well. The movie is great. It's just fun. I like the Spielberg movies that have very simple, straightforward stories, not the big ones. And this one is actually a very, very straightforward little story, but told with a big budget. And well, Spielberg makes a great movie with his eyes closed. So
yeah, so it doesn't feel like Spielberg riffing on Spielberg, because I remember when Super 8, because I remember when like Super 8 came out and everybody was saying JJ was riffing a Spielberg film. So I was wondering, well, Ready Player One, Spielberg's got to be riffing Spielberg. That should be good.
No. Actually, he's not. I read an interview where he said that he was consciously avoiding that. He was not referencing himself too much in it.
Yeah.
But he pays homage to The Shining in the biggest way. I mean, I was really sitting there and I was like, oh, wow, that looks like I've seen that movie 2 months ago. It looks like the fucking movie. It looks just like The Shining. And then you have that character who's never seen The Shining, and you're like, oh, don't go there. Please, just
was-
stay.
It was that was actually, like you said, the smartest, because even if you have not seen The Shining, through that character, you're still in it.
Mm,
You know, in joke, which it very easily could have been.
yeah.
Oh, it made me happy.
I gave
st-
Ready Player One the highest praise that I currently can, in that I saw it with Movie Pass, so in essence free.
Awesome.
Now, I've seen like 50 movies with Movie Pass by now. But then I actually went back and paid full price to see it at IMAX 3D, because
Oh.
it's definitely a IMAX 3D type movie.
Yep.
And I think it's fun. It's great. Like I know it
Do
has
you
its
want-
issues, but I think it's great.
You know what was fun? The death of Stalin. That was fun.
Oh, which I still
Oppressed
need to
people.
see.
Oh my god.
Way to raise the bar, Rocks.
Yeah, well.
So actually, for a moment, I thought you meant the actual death of Stalin.
Well, that was funny too, I believe.
Yeah,
That
that's
was-
the point.
Rocks was there.
For the players involved. Ready
For the
player.
players.
Go
That too was a
ahead.
great piece of performance art right there. Yeah.
Michael Palin is in it, and it's great. And it reminds. Has anyone ever seen Mel Brooks's 12 Chairs?
No.
No.
Okay.
look
Well,
that up.
all right. Remember, well, okay, in the 70s, when they did a period piece, everybody did their own accents
Yeah.
for some foreign country. They did this and this. So
Oh.
Steve Buscemi has his New York accent. Tamor, what's
Lucky
his name? Yes.
Yeah.
Then you have Jason Isaacs is in it, and he's very British.
So was this
And
improv because it's a Nucci?
it's almost, yeah, I could swear it was almost all improv. It's like, here, this is the idea. Stalin's dead, and you know,
'Cause that's basically
who's
all of his
making the
stuff.
power plays.
Yeah, that's basically all of his stuff. It's basically there's a structure, but it's almost entirely improv.
I would say there was a script though.
Okay.
Only because of people trying to keep track of Russian names and
Yeah.
what they did, and you know who was making what power play.
Sort of like the Christopher Guest School.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, but a little bit more structured. And I'm sure that this is really what had happened after the death of somebody that powerful. You know, who was making, you know, Khrushchev was making, you know, that's who Steve was playing. You know, so it was really good. It was very. It's, you know, it was a horrible time, but they made it funny. In that weird kind of Mel Brooks way, you know, that they could. So, yeah, Death of Stalin, very good.
I'm kind of itching for them to bring Thick of It back now after that. Because they could basically a show to be rebooted. You know, bring back Thick of It. Capaldi's available.
Yes, indeed.
You've been here for 5 hours. You want to do introductions now?
What in the hell is that noise?
That's a Pokemon. Square. That's Square.
What?
Okay.
God's name is happening.
Power of Christ compels you.
So,
Power of Christ compels you.
so you realize you're going to have to get one with Ryan Reynolds' voice now, right?
I know.
Wait a second.
Oh, what? I don't get that. What's the reference?
Ryan Reynolds is going to be the voice of Detective Pikachu in a Detective Pikachu movie that's coming out next year.
That's excellent.
Oh dear God!
I have a big Detective Pikachu somewhere in here.
Wait, now somebody else is. What's going on here?
Oh.
With 900 years old, you reach adulthood. You will not.
What is happening?
That's Ryan Reynolds reading.
Dom and Brian are having a toy off.
Oh, if we're having a toy off, it can be a long podcast.
Oh God, no!
Oh my God.
I won't
give
start.
up. No.
I have a very, very small collection, and I will not haul everything.
I
Oh my
also
God,
have
Dom.
a small collection.
I'm very.
But it's how he uses it that really is what everyone appreciates.
Nice. Dear God.
Oh.
Those are the guns. I didn't
No,
know you
no,
were
I'm-
allowed to have those in
All right.
Germany.
So this trinket
No.
here is a gypsy
Yay, show and
warding
tell.
of protection.
No stuff you made
Stolen.
up right now.
Stolen from a
This is-
gypsy
It's
funeral.
just something you found under your desk. I'm convinced.
No, it is not. No, this is
It's the buttons of her victims.
Oh my
I
God.
call them
This
eyes.
is all right. So yeah, my friend Carol, she worked next door to a funeral home. Okay,
Of course she does.
of course she does. So she tells us later on that she's like, "Oh yeah, there was this gypsy funeral that they invited me over to have food," and I'm like, "Holy crap, Carol! You refused food from a gypsy? You know that's bad luck, right?" And it freaked her out. So I'm like, when was this funeral? She goes, well, I'm telling you about it now. I'm like, you didn't call us. They invited you over. We could have all gone to this gypsy funeral. So it was somebody up high because this funeral lasted a week. So Carol,
Rocks.
what?
Can
Yes.
you please write a book one day with the title "We Could Have Gone to a Gypsy Funeral"? Please.
I'll do that. No, we'll
Okay,
do
thank
that.
you.
We may
All
have
right.
2018 up that title. though.
So yeah. So anyway, Carol swiped this and she got cursed by a gypsy because a caterpillar bit her and she had this allergic reaction. So she gave this to me for Christmas. Yeah. So it's a gypsy warding of protection.
Warding it.
Yep. There you go. Protects my house. You can't
We're
see
up
my
here for
house
5
from
hours.
Google.
You want to do introductions now?
Well, I thought since we were doing, show and tell, that's a really good, I don't want to really say I got it from a gypsy body, So
intros or
yeah, there we go.
I'm not sure.
Or we go
Is
to
it
the
safe to follow that?
agenda of death.
No. All right, fine. We'll do introductions then. And we'll do them starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of this is podcast. The number one. What?
You're cutting out. At the best times, I must say.
Am I still breaking up?
What's
Well,
that?
I mean, we
Like
weren't
the thong song?
We were going to do it in a text.
And you're
but,
breaking up.
You're
Oh,
breaking up more
fuck.
than Dire Straits, sir.
All right, fine. Fix it. Talk amongst yourselves. Rock, show them.
We'll fix it in post.
Stole from a dead person.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Oh man, what do I have that I stole?
Can we just de-escalate this situation?
Got this.
Salacious Crumb.
What the hell is that?
That is,
So
that is
this-
actually the
so
next
this-
Lady Gaga album.
Yeah. So a friend of mine.
No, it's actually Lady Gaga.
Oh.
So my
she's
it's
transformed.
got. Oh look, it's got a little dagger with blood on it.
Why wouldn't it?
I get fans that send me this stuff. That's what I got. That's what I got.
Hands.
Fans.
You might want to
Yes.
redefine your definition of fans.
Put back the fan
Oh
and fanatic.
wait, where did I put the zombie head chick? Oh, she's an ornament now.
The most
I'm
rock
reading.
thing you ever said.
Alright. Well, okay, I'll stop so I don't incriminate myself. Well,
Don't take down your pants.
when did
Too
I say
late.
that?
Wait, incriminate yourself anymore, you mean?
Well, no, this will, this podcast will show up in the future.
Any
and
further.
all law will be disseminated and dispersed and stuff.
Oh,
so
that's
we're
why.
good.
That's why these come out when they do for statute of limitations.
Yeah, but by the way, when is the planned release for this? 2021.
Well, let's see. Michael
2000.
Cohen's office was raided, so any time now. That's the politics joke for you folks.
Don't
Is
worry.
Is that
By
like
the
thing
time
where we
this
hold up the
airs, we'll
newspaper?
be under another regime, like with apes or something. Hey, that's
Again?
my line.
That list of commands is just subpar.
What?
Nothing.
Stop the podcast.
Who are you?
His bat cave is malfunctioning.
Get the fluffer. Wow.
I'm just trying to think of all the incriminating things I have already recorded from Rox.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the prize of all prizes here.
Do you train them?
Cheesecake Factory gift card.
What?
So,
That's greatness.
How much?
$10.
How much? $10? Okay. You can get a fragment of a cake.
Let's start the bidding.
Why are we showing stuff into the camera and saying it's awesome?
I don't know.
Because we're waiting for the guy in the cave.
Back.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
I have
We're waiting for the man. We're waiting for the man.
All right. So, is this sounding any better whatsoever?
Oh, you have to bring
we can hear you. So
Okay.
That's a plus.
Okay, that's good.
Holy crap! What do you got? You got fire!
Oh,
Had to bring open flame into this.
I'm
Didn't
going to have to get Lucille.
No.
I hope by that you mean the guitar of BB King. Yeah.
Oh wait, let me go to the
I actually
closet
hope that he
and
means
get that
some
from
woman he's just going to drag into the frame.
Black Snake Moan. Christina Ricci? You got Christina Ricci and you call her Lucille?
I guess it's better than calling her Wednesday. I don't know.
Nice.
What is happening?
So, introductions.
All right. Yeah, so we'll try introductions again. Can you actually hear me? Am I breaking up?
You're good.
No, you're breaking up.
Liar!
Wait, don't tell him.
For fuck's sake.
Hey,
All right.
we're gonna go into overtime, and you know he won't pay us.
Oh my
Wait,
God,
he's
not a
been paying
shootout
you?
again.
Wait, he's been paying you?
All right.
Oh, you've been doing that Richard Pryor penny thing, haven't you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. All right, introductions. We'll try them again, starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Weekend Justice. It's the Weekend Justice Podcast, the #1 audio internet train wreck. We're here in the Hall of Weekend Justice with the Weekend Justice League, and I will endeavor to introduce them going from my right to your left. We have
I think you said my name. Hi.
Oh, for God's sake!
Just sign it. Just sign it.
Sign it? What?
Like you're deaf. Come on, use deaf language.
Well, if you turn on your camera and then do like a mime card thing.
Yeah, that will work with his upload, of course.
He's wearing the bustier, though, no camera.
Yeah, add more band.
Yeah. 3D. Come on.
So Dom and I.
The VR version of this will be great.
Tuffley is here. Hi, Tuffley.
I have a Space Invader.
Is that a sex toy or what?
It depends, Widge.
Which space does it invade?
It depends on your carbon dating, Widge.
Widge, I can see you're watching episode 7 of NCIS Los Angeles. That would hurt your bandwidth. I can see it. That's the issue. That's the issue.
That's not happening.
Agent Gibbs to the rescue.
Marla Gibbs, what? We have Rox is here. Hi, Rox.
Staying alive.
I didn't do it.
That's good to know.
That's not what the person in the corner of the room is saying.
Well, you're not here.
Okay.
And we have joining us for the first time, Brian. Hi, Brian.
I have misplaced my pants.
That's not an unusual
Waist up?
experience.
Yeah, I know
Waist
that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
And we got John Fidiki. Hi, John.
Don't take down your pants.
When did I say that?
We're going to need to go to the cabinet and get some Macallan, I see.
Are we?
Who did I say that? I need reference. Where did you at that. You got a flame. You can't do that.
Welcome to Weekend Justice.
Oh,
No,
you want that torch?
I know. It's a
Now
Bunsen
with more
burner.
flamethrower.
Do you have any magnesium? Or can you?
Yeah, that would be safe to do right now.
Lotion.
Well, you're using that flamethrower right next to your posters. They can catch on fire and then catch
I'm
on.
between the flame and the posters.
Yeah,
Worry
it's-
about
No,
me
she's not so
first.
much worried about you. She's seen a flaming
No,
person before.
don't think she's concerned about your safety.
It's
But I
that it's that
protect the
Sweet,
sweeping.
sweet poster action she's worried about.
I am. I'm worried about
As
that poster.
Rocks, you should
Yes.
know the human body doesn't burn easily so much that the
That's
posters.
really not what the person
Hair,
behind her
dude,
saying.
Your hair goes up just like that. And I
I
say
need to
that.
get a Rocks action figure.
So do I.
I need that.
with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Get a custom. Hot toy.
Get those. Can we get flamethrowers? Where do you buy them, Brian?
You're in the US.
You're the
probably
man that can get
Walmart.
stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, I would guess Amazon would have something.
Elon
I
Musk
mean,
was selling them, wasn't he?
I do know how to do the whole hairspray in a lighter. I've done that.
Have
Oh,
you seen
yes.
the Super Mario
That's
Brothers
temporary.
movie?
Like the really old, the
Are we back to dead things now?
No, we're talking about flamethrowers and hairspray.
you
What-
can get a Red Dragon 400,000 BTU Weed Dragon backpack propane vapor torch kit. I can have it here in 1 hour. $284.95.
USA.
In an hour?
USA.
I gotta see this.
He's not kidding.
Amazon.
Don't dare him.
Whoa,
Well, As it
$97.
is right now, I cannot, travel to your country, so I can look at this link.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Oh my gosh, it's got
do
a
you want me to
backboard.
VPN into which country shall I VPN and send you a link from?
I'm pretty sure I can see all buying options. That sounds good. Yeah.
It's got a
Free
backpack
shipping.
thing and everything.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that I will have a nice visit by the police if I order this.
I could buy it and we can
You're-
make a YouTube video.
You're
I'm
certainly
on
going
it.
to torture posters.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
the
worried about
problem.
that poster.
She is. She's very concerned about the posters.
Yeah.
Next time, I will just bring the posters and I will go to bed.
All right.
Got an email.
Hopefully that's better.
Hey, Witch.
Wait, did you say something?
Oh, I'm not even on wireless anymore. What the fuck?
He could be messing with you. That's a possibility.
Truly,
Do you have
truly outrageous.
Do you have any cloud service that is synchronizing?
What? No.
Dropbox.
Oh. No.
Hold hands.
No, not that either.
Kazaa, Morpheus, eDonkey.
Kazaa. LimeWire.
Wow.
Kazaa.
Wow.
Hey, Skype is essentially
Kazaa
Kazaa.
still exists.
The people who wrote Kazaa later wrote Skype, so it's pretty much the same networking code.
Which I'm going to need you to quit Rhapsody.
Mamma mia.
Mm-hmm.
That was disturbing.
That distracts the whole podcast.
Also, you may want to turn off Music Match.
Is Real
What?
Player still good though? Am I still good with Real Player?
Real Player, yeah.
Did I miss the agenda item on nipple explosions? Because I wanted to make sure I was here.
Did
Nipple
not. We
explosions.
didn't.
that's
No,
good.
we were clearing out
I,
the debt.
I have containers to catch.
Oh. So who's going like the night before?
Like Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
I will be.
Have to. I think we
Wait a
have
sec.
to because we have a thing on Saturday. We were going to so.
Finals. I'm just looking where my press screening is.
Oh. Go the whole
Sorry.
thing, or is it? Because if it's before the premiere, they're not showing the whole thing, right?
They are. Tuesday. I'm going to see it on Tuesday.
Okay. But
and the room
silence.
was quiet. Yeah.
No, we're doing Foo Fighters on Saturday, so we have to get Avengers in the first time early
before the Foo Fighters.
Before Dave Grohl, yeah.
You have your priorities. That's good.
It's Old Turner Field.
Oh.
I think it's Georgia State. It's the first.
Yeah,
I think
Georgia
it's the
State. Yep.
Yeah, it's the first show they're doing there. So.
Oh, it'll be big. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but first Avengers showing, I think we're going to try to get in Thursday. We may. I know it's not the only one we're going to. So.
Yeah, we're going to put Movie Pass to the test.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we may try to do it Sunday, maybe if she really wants to.
Speaking of, did everyone or anyone that has interest in Movie Pass see they just partnered with iHeartRadio for was it iHeartRadio or one of those radio streaming services, and it's $10 a month, but it only includes 4 movies a month now, and that is the only new way you can currently sign up for Movie Pass. So
wow!
I fear that the good days could come to an end after a year, but.
Well, I know Verizon
promotional thing they're doing.
I think Verizon just made more of an investment on Movie Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to someone else. You remember the days where right when we got data, right? Movie Pass is so nascent compared to there isn't a competitor. But when we first got cell phone data, it was all unlimited, and then they just tell us to limit it, and now pretty much it's all unlimited again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the evolution cycle of a new thing. They don't know what to do with it yet. But currently you can only subscribe that way, but it hasn't impacted new subscribers. So it says 3 months. It says a 3-month window. So maybe after that, maybe they sign some type of exclusive.
Doesn't Verizon also own a piece of Redbox?
I believe so, yeah. I'm pretty sure they do.
So yeah, the Movie Pass investment kind of makes sense then.
Yeah. Movie Pass is great. The only time I've had trouble was recently, and it was my own fault because I checked in way too early. And that the app itself actually has an in-app chat help feature where it looks like a text message. And within 2 minutes, they had resolved my issue within the app, which was really good.
They've gotten a lot better with that because I know I had the Black Panther fail, which was not fun.
What happened? What happened?
What was it? The Friday of Black Panther? Was it the Friday of Black Panther?
Friday. Yep. Opening Friday.
It was the Friday. It was the opening Friday of Black Panther, and we were going. Mm-hmm. And I tried to use Movie Pass, and the app failed because they also updated the app that day, and a lot of people were having problems with the app. I don't know if it was specifically with Black Panther because I think there was another film. It was another film that they were blacking out completely, and it wasn't Black Panther. It was what was the other? What was the movie they were blacking out? I can't remember.
Death of Stalin. Death of Stalin.
It was.
But no, it was Red Sparrow. But that was the next week.
That was it. Yep.
I couldn't use the app to get into Black Panther, so I just paid for it. So,
I mean, I would say, I think I sent it out to most everybody when that promotion ran back before Christmas because I think we got it roughly for $80 or something like that for the year. It was a fantastic. And
you got a year subscription?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran it.
Wow.
As I understand it, it was a big capital raise. They sold off a bunch of annual subscriptions to raise upfront money.
Right.
And so I think it was $80 for the year. And,
holy crap!
Yeah, I mean it pays for itself, here and 6 or 7 movies.
And it's also got a Fandor subscription too.
Oh.
So you get like the movie streaming service.
Yeah.
So you get that apparently too now. But that also comes with the Movie Pass membership. I also saw something, and I got a message about this that Spotify is offering Hulu memberships now. They're bundling.
I heard that. Yeah.
Spotify's offering bundling with Hulu for I think it's $12.99. It's supposed to be. and you'd get Spotify Premium and the basic level of Hulu.
I think. Go ahead.
Can I ask something? Just
yeah.
How big is Spotify in the US, and is Hulu still? Hulu used to be the thing.
Yeah.
From my perspective in the US, is it still that or?
Well, Hulu's done a couple of different things. Hulu has gotten into because they've gotten into there's the basic tier now, which is basically the still what they did before, which is the network run shows.
Yep.
And a limited library of like old stuff.
Yep.
But they're also doing live streaming television now. So they're
going to have the hockey playoffs.
Yeah. And they've got so there's a now new premium level of Hulu that has the live streaming television.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, I think at the moment Spotify is still the largest paid streaming service in the States. Apple's getting close. Just I think by acquisitions, Apple's getting close. But Spotify is still the top streaming service, and I know
I still like Pandora.
Yeah, and I know the IPO just landed. That just happened. So they're publicly traded now, and that also may. And this is going to be an issue down the line where the record companies, because they all own pieces of Spotify, whether or not they sell off and whether that changes the terms of the licensing at some point, will be kind of an interesting thing to watch. We also just in America, got they just put in. I think the legislation went through where they're changing some of the mechanisms on royalty payments.
Yes,
and that's going to affect Spotify going forward. So that's going to be interesting to watch.
So Hulu is still a big deal because of the Emmy wins that Handmaid's Tale won. Right. Just recently, did you guys see the big lawsuit or the figuring out who was going to get the rights for a streaming? Amazon, I think, beat out Hulu, or is it Netflix for Lord of the Rings?
Amazon
$1 billion on
something crazy like that.
I know so they paid $250 million for the rights to do something.
Or that's the projection, like by the time they finish making
it. By the time they finish it, Which, I mean, I think we were talking. I think I was looking at. I know the Disney streaming service is looking at doing high fidelity, and my comment there was that my comment is it's not that it's going to be lack of viewers that kills it. It's going to be the licensing rights if they want to get. It's going to be the music licensing rights that's going to kill that show.
Oh my God!
Imagine the sphere or the audience that Amazon thinks it's going to have to get to make that profitable, and I wonder if they still think like the Lord of the Rings show is going to be like a loss leader to for Prime. I don't know. I can't think in that term of that.
I don't either.
Remember, almost everything for Amazon is considered a loss leader except for Amazon Web Services, and for Prime memberships that I think last quarter turned some ridiculous number like $70 billion.
Yeah,
and that's after they ship and all of that stuff. So, I feel like Amazon is trying hard to play in the prestige media creation market. And, the other thing about Hulu we can't forget is if the Disney merger or the Disney acquisition pushes through and doesn't get blocked by regulation, Disney will own the controlling interest of Hulu.
Yeah.
They will have the majority of it. They did just kind of silently launch a new ESPN streaming service that's not full ESPN, but they kind of quietly launched a $5 a month ESPN platform, which was interesting to me.
That kind of feels like a Destiny thing where they're throwing out the beta.
Yes.
Or they're having people pay for the beta, which is a little weird.
Yeah, I think they're sticking their toes in the water a little bit, but all the big players are trying to get into that prestige TV space. What was that? Apple just announced some fairly prestigious sounding drama. I can't remember what it is, but all of them want to play in that space. I'm surprised that Google we haven't heard more come out about YouTube landing a real show instead of just, PewDiePie presents whatever the YouTube Red stuff is. I think they probably keep bidding. I'm sure they keep bidding on stuff. But Amazon's been successful because Amazon won some NFL rights last season, and I think Bezos just throws his money at some of this stuff right now.
That's what he does mostly.
Except his employees.
Yeah, I think they started Amazon Studios where they produced themselves about 5 years ago now, and there hasn't been much content that really was extremely successful in any regard. I think maybe one or two things.
Here's the thing I like about Amazon shows. Man in the High Castle did I think he's willing to do these niche things that has a small following, and the production value is really good. And he did, what else did he do? I think that Marvelous Miss Maisel, which was oddly enough, it's about the 1960s rise of stand-up comedy. So you have like Lenny Bruce and stuff like that. So I think they're
Transparent. He did as well, which is won multiple awards, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah,
correct.
Yes.
And I know they've got The Tick, and I know they've got what is it? They've got Grand Tour, which is the thing that's getting, I think, is that the most watched of the programs right now is still Grand Tour?
Yeah.
Mostly because of it's the thing that's only exclusively available on the platform, because some of these other shows are co-produced with other entities and other people have distribution rights in other places. So I think Grand Tour is the only thing they've got complete. I think Grand Tour and High Castle is the only things they've got completely locked up. Because I know Amazon's co-producing Good Omens with BBC. So it'll air on the BBC. It'll air, I think, BBC America here, and then it goes to Amazon everywhere else, and then it shows up on Prime in other places. I think that's the way it works. But I know Amazon is co-producing a couple of things with networks, which is kind of interesting and weird. But Netflix is doing the same thing because they're doing that. They're doing that with Discovery, because everywhere else in the world gets Discovery on Netflix. So
we get Black Lightning on Netflix, which is kind of odd.
That's being co-produced. Netflix is one of the co-producers on that. So.
I watch it, but it doesn't make sense to me.
No, Black Lightning?
And not the show itself, because I watch all the CW shows aside from Supergirl.
Yeah.
Because I'm just that, I don't know, weird. And I bitch about it a lot. But it doesn't make sense to me that Netflix would just co-produce that one show. I know it was the newest one, but still, I mean, it doesn't scream Netflix to me.
It's not, I think the other reason is it's not technically connected to the other shows. So I think that's why
I think 2 mentions of Supergirl, so they're probably placing it on that Earth because they have a multiverse there too. So it is in there, but the connections are very loose, and which is healthy that they're building it up to be its own thing. But
I don't want to spoil anything for where you are, because you probably haven't gotten to it yet. But damn, Legends is so much fun.
I know. I've seen the season finale. I love it.
It's I've said this as I was watching. I think near the end of last season,
most comic show ever.
Yeah, I think toward the end of last year and more this year than I think more than last year. It's sort of the show I kind of hoped it would be. And when I say that, I just mean it's as crazy as the premise should be.
Yeah, I mean, Gorilla Grodd kidnapping Barack Obama is everything that you want.
Yes.
Like, that's everything you want.
The whole season, I was thinking, what are they doing with this blue Bebo guy? And in the finale, because I knew they were leading up to something.
So you've seen it. Okay, good.
It was so brilliant.
Oh, Bebo.
I didn't want to spoil that for you, but you've seen it. So
I've seen it.
Yeah, Bebo is
and I'm a massive Constantine fan. Depending on what you read or what you watch, the pronunciation differs. And so they had me, in the moment when Constantine throws a D20 into the air, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Rox.
Bye.
Fairly straight, but okay.
But yeah, Legends. If you skipped Legends because of the first season, well, yeah. But you should come back because it is really the insane show it should have been. So,
Did she do a recommendation and I missed it?
She did
in the beginning. Right in the beginning.
She did it as an Easter egg.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Oh, hey, watch out now.
Oh,
The Undertaker?
What?
What's that?
Who's doing what?
I thought I saw The Undertaker, like, all of a sudden appear on my screen.
Okay, lay down the booze.
It's cherry slushy, left over from the John Cena movie.
How long has it been standing there?
Wait, was that Ferdinand?
It is.
No, Blockers, and it's actually quite fun.
Oh, okay.
If you have Movie Pass, you just see everything.
Yeah, so that's what I want to repeat back. I want to go back to that about a Movie Pass because I actually gave up my Movie Pass because I wasn't seeing enough movies to make it worth my time. But you've been able to hit the movie enough, theater enough to make it worth your money. Okay.
Oh yeah. Let's see here.
I'm the guy they didn't want to cancel a subscription.
Yeah, you paid for me
because I was paying for you, but not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've got.
Okay, you need to keep talking. So yeah,
quite a few.
Or you can click. You can also click his image, and it'll show up as big in here. Yeah. Show that again, Brad.
Oh.
So, how was the new American Pie, aka Blockers?
I actually thought it was pretty funny. I don't know that. Yeah, I guess it was in the world of American Pie. I mean, because
same plot devices, you know, like okay, we need to lose our virginity. I mean, that's the basic plot of American Pie.
Yeah.
That's
John
the basic
Cena's
plot of every American movie. But go on.
Especially American Psycho.
I don't know. It made me laugh just because it was an R-rated movie.
Extra touch of Huey Lewis.
Hey man, come on.
It was an R-rated movie that earned its R rating just with like. It showed full frontal male nudity once. I think there was one F word, but then
was it John Cena?
It was not. John Cena butt chugging was in the movie, but it was not John Cena. But every other time it would be like, "Hey, I'm going to put my penis in your vagina." Like they always, instead of using vulgar terms, it talked very specifically anatomically correct, and for some reason that kept making me laugh. But I mean, I think John Cena is pretty funny, so I enjoyed it. I mean, especially for free. But it made me laugh. It's short. It's like an hour, 40 minutes.
That movie should be short. Sounds like they did a good job.
Rampage is good though. I loved Rampage.
I've heard good things about that too. I've heard good things about Blockers, and I've heard good things about Rampage. Of course, they're not. They're. I imagine they're not high art, but they are entertaining. Right?
Yeah. But Rampage is surprising that the story actually is fairly dark, and there is a story, which I couldn't believe. And they make you care about that stupid gorilla like a lot. They do a really good job of that.
Hey, listen, when I was playing the game.
Hey, but is it really fair to call the Rock a gorilla? I mean.
By the way, have you seen that tweet?
I mean,
The Rock tweeted about this being the highest rated gaming adaptation, and he said that he should know because he was in that stinker Doom, and then Doom
retweeted,
just tweeted Wayne. Yes, it was wonderful. Yes. By the way, Widge, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good.
Anyway, so back to
Box Office Viagra, Dwayne.
I just wanted to see if you were okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Hey man,
I'm done with my margarita.
I mean,
kind of sad about
Jumanji was incredibly entertaining as well.
That was a hoot. Yeah.
Yes.
But why was it called Jumanji?
Name recognition.
A sequel, basically.
Yeah, basically an excuse to go into a game. That's
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to the thing we were saying about television. If you put anything that's even remotely familiar in front of people, it will now generate something.
Yeah,
it
I
will
think
now
they
generate.
calculated
Yeah.
the uproar saying this is not my Jumanji. That was actually getting more press than it being a good movie.
I mean, Jack Black teaching Kieran Gillen to flirt is the greatest thing.
Okay, now I have to see it.
It's the greatest thing.
I mean, it's very entertaining. I mean, they all do a good job for what it is. It's very entertaining. I mean, I know I've said it 1,000 times, and I know that I'm not alone in this opinion, but just Dwayne Johnson is just engaging just himself.
Yep.
I watch Ballers only because of him, and you throw Rob Corddry in there.
And because Ballers is awesome.
Well, no, I actually think some of it's like whatever. But the fact is that Dwayne
He's so
Johnson,
good.
He keeps your attention the entire time.
Yeah,
so.
he's great. I mean, ever since Be Cool, I really like him because that was a bad sequel, although it was still a fun movie. But he was stellar in it. It was really good. And he made fun of himself constantly, which is... You win me over with that.
It's okay. John's still holding out for the Arliss reboot.
The fact that you had...
hey.
When he landed in Jumanji, he did the eyebrow was just...
Yes.
It was just so perfect.
He always does the fucking eyebrow. That's why it's so funny and Be Cool. Can I see the eyebrow again?
Well, he's. I mean, if you like Dwayne, Rampage is a lot of Dwayne. He's very charismatic in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's always charismatic. I think he wakes up with the eyebrow. It's like that's the first part of him that wakes up.
I mean,
so
that might be on the app.
I watched 45 minutes of San Andreas just because he was in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was all that I could take of it because then at some point, okay, this is like 2012 with less plot.
Oh damn.
2012. Emmerich in one tiny bottle. Just
2012 has fallen.
Painful.
John Cusack, what have I done with my life?
Makes me so sad.
Well, I mean, heck, he's showing up at Dragon Con and things like that. So
he really is.
No, he was there last year.
He was there last year. Yeah.
Okay, for what though? I mean, I love him as an actor,
Well,
but
he's been in a lot of genre stuff. He was, as you would know, 1408.
Yeah, 1408 was great.
Rob actually, Rob
the-
is actually his moderator for his
Raven.
house.
Yeah.
Raven is awful.
That's terrible.
He's great, but the
shite.
movie sucks.
It's terrible.
Well, he didn't say it was any good genre stuff.
Yeah. I mean, come on. What are you gonna do?
I mean, Dom had the look on his face like he just had a peaches enema. I'm thinking about that movie.
Was a peaches enema? What?
Yeah, that's the look you had on your face. Like that, it just connects.
It's a Southern thing. That's what they get there, you know.
Okay.
Hey, compliment.
I'll write that down for later.
What's a peaches enema?
Google is my friend.
Safe search.
Oh yes.
No, don't Urban Dictionary that.
I'm curious myself. Let's see.
You have never seen my browser history, so
that's its own podcast.
very good.
That's great.
Podcast you can go to.
That is a podcast. You've
My
never
browser
seen
history.
my browser history.
Oh God.
That is actually a pretty decent idea for a podcast. Just bring people on and have them splay out their browser history.
So do you mind
with
if
their
we-
spouses.
Oh God.
There. Don't Google that. Don't. Just don't. Nope. I'm out. Close.
Fortunately, you don't have any kids over there.
Flamethrower. Why did you Google a flame?
Oh, save 20% at Books A Million. Hey, look at that.
I don't want to. I don't even want to know what.
Why does this podcast come with ads? What's going on?
I don't even want to know.
No.
I'm now officially.
Don't ask
terrified.
what we're doing with your data.
If we're gonna do ads, we got to get that guy talking about the Zeepa.
The what?
The
what?
Zeepa.
Oh, the
Happy
satellite
Z
radio guy.
spelled backwards.
Yeah.
So have we actually talked about what we want from Infinity War and what we expect? I think we all just said when we're going to see it.
I've been
we mentioned nipples exploding, but God.
Yeah.
I've been reading the Infinity Gauntlet comic to kind of catch up. Man, I forgot how screwed up that comic is.
Yeah.
God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Starts out okay.
It's well, Infinity Gauntlet's great. I mean, the first series, I really enjoyed it.
Right.
Infinity War and Infinity, it really maybe not, but yeah.
The first one, Infinity Gauntlet, that was great. It was when they did, Infinity Junior. It was pretty. Well, that was DC. Wait a minute.
To Infinity and Beyond. Oh no, wait, that was Toy Story.
Yeah, it was Rudy 2D Fresh and Infinity.
Hey.
What?
Chocolate chip.
Infinite Jest. No.
Yeah.
Infinity Anima.
Oh, that I know would return something. I would say, I mean, for me, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, we kind of know what we're getting into, but this whole keeping everything a secret, changing the release date, not showing full versions during, like right now, I just don't want that to be a letdown. I want there to be an actual surprise that's not like, oh, surprise, even if you Googled anything, you know this was going to happen. And I want there to be some stakes of some type, some consequence.
So not like Star Trek 2 by Abrams, where they were actually lying.
Correct.
Yeah.
That would be
no, it's not Wrath of Khan. No, we weren't doing that. No. We
no,
would
Cumberbatch is actually a wizard. No, wrong.
Right. Like if the if the surprise is that War Machine's not dead, well, he's flying in the trailer. Like you see him, he's there.
Well, I don't think. I mean, they've at least said that someone will die. Characters will perish.
Hopefully, it will combine the two things I want. I want somebody to die, and I want the Defenders in there. So Danny Rand dies. That will solve every problem.
That's just killed. Basically, you know what?
Poor Sir Loras.
All of this.
It's the Night of the Flowers.
All of the Infinity War trailers, all of the Wakanda stuff. None of that's in there. It's just really the film is just 5 minutes, and at the end, Danny Rand dies. That's basically.
Over.
Hey, if Colleen Wing becomes the Iron Fist after that, perfect. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll get Colleen Wing and Shuri in their own show. Together they fight crime.
Hey, I like Shuri. I'd be down for that. That's good.
I mean, who do we think is going to go down? My bet's right. Well, yes,
probably not actually.
Well, it's 2018, so I can't say the Joker was going to say. But
okay.
Well, I mean,
that means the joke I can tell in my head is better than whatever it's going to be. It's great.
It's just like the Infinity Gauntlet that's in your head.
You're asking who's going to go down. What?
On whom?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, hey! One moment.
I mean, we know.
Perfect timing.
That fanfic writes itself.
But Cap does Cap go down? That's the question.
By the way, did you know that the German word for fuck is fic? So fanfic is really.
Well, it is, but yes. Well, I mean, what they're developing a Black Widow movie, so we know it's not going to be. We know it's not going to be.
But it could be pre. It could be.
It could be a flashback. Yeah. Okay.
It's probably gonna be a prequel.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, this doesn't work to put the headset on.
Who thought to give him that thing?
Okay, so if you accidentally wipe out, that's the kind of thinking that got us here.
I like where we are.
It's a nice, comfortable place.
Can I ask you a question? How much did that set you back?
Well, it MSRP is $100, but I have a hookup, so I paid $60.
It's well, it depends on how many box tops you have.
That is actually, you know what? That even at $100 would have been well spent.
Yeah, and it makes all the noises, it lights up, and you can lock it in place however you want, so you can just leave it like that.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
For those listening at home, the Infinity someone was foolish enough to let Bry get all the Infinity Stones.
Yes. You know what that means.
That's
again.
That's really why
Oh,
Ron.
what the hell's going on with Ron?
Pasta made his underpants.
He didn't really leave the call. They just got eliminated.
You see what you've done, Bry? You've invoked Cthulhu. Oh boy!
Sorry, he's always here.
He's always here. He's always around.
We share a room.
The master is always here.
Come sit down here, buddy. Guess I need you.
In case I need you.
Again, safe
Don't
search on.
I don't think "Hold My Gauntlet's going to become a catchphrase. Really, half the universe. Hold my gauntlet.
So my bet's on Cap dying, basically.
In the first movie?
That's a good question.
I think in the first, my money is on Thor in the first movie.
Really?
Those two are really up there, though, because they're all, their stories have been told.
Right.
And Hemsworth really wants to leave.
Right. Hemsworth really wants to leave. His country is destroyed, or Asgard's destroyed. Widge and I were talking just the other day. It has to be one of the mains, or it's not. You can't build it up like this, and sorry.
Well, you can't even just
Scarlet Witch dies. Yeah, Loki's going to die, but
that's not enough.
It's got to be Cap, Iron Man, Thor. It's got to be one of those three.
Because we know it's not going to be.
What about
Hulk?
Hulk. I mean, if you eliminate Hulk, you do well. If you eliminate Hulk and Thor, you eliminate the problem that DC has of too many Superman people. Yeah.
I think nobody considers Hulk because he's so damn powerful, and I think Tony Stark will be with us for a few more years, to be honest. Yeah.
But isn't Ruffalo the one that still has dates left because they can't make a Hulk movie because of Universal, and so they've made the Hulk movie in three arcs, which was Civil War, then Ragnarok, and I think there's still one left to happen. I don't know if that might be the Avengers potentially, but I know they've talked about that in the past. But I mean, I might be wrong, but I know that the other three all have their contract ending. I mean, there's already been the article came out that said Evans was done after the next movie.
I think that it's very likely that Cap and Thor will go in one of those two. I just think that Hulk would be a surprise for most people who are not informed, especially, and story-wise, I mean, look at the character. Even in Ragnarok, it was already okay. I cannot change. I don't want to change again, and they will pick that up again. So a sacrifice by him would be solving a lot of problems.
Well,
the problem is. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I was to say it also if Thanos for the second movie, which I think we all think he probably will. I'm not sure, but if you want to set up how big a bad he is, if he kills Hulk, it's this is the real deal.
Like breaking his neck after a longish fight, but and everybody watching, so that would be heart destroying, actually.
Well, I think what probably will happen. I mean, if we know our Infinity Gauntlet, that there is a possibility of what happens. But I think it has something to be setting up at least a new team or introducing the concept of another Avengers team.
Yeah,
which I think is what probably is going to be a main feature of 4. Where it's sort of a I guess torch exchange.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't want to announce the title. So, if the title 4 was New Avengers, something like that, it would make sense.
I mean, because if your New Avengers team is going to be Captain Marvel and Spider-Man and Shuri and Panther or whatever, I mean, that would be the place to do it and start that. We still don't know what Phase 4 is going to be, honestly, because the only thing we know that's technically officially in Phase 4 is the Guardians
and Spider-Man
and Spider-Man
and Ant-Man.
Oh, okay. Is there another Ant-Man sequel?
Yeah.
Because
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah,
is Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp and Captain Marvel both come out, but before Avengers 4 does.
Yeah, but you're talking for we only know Guardians and Spider-Man.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so that's phase 3.5.
Yeah. So so Guardians is the only thing that's and a Spider-Man sequel are the only two things that have been announced. But we still don't have dates on those yet because they haven't. Because I don't know, maybe they think that gives away the game. So
don't they have a calendar that just says?
Oh yeah, they got a lot of slots.
They got a lot of slots.
They have their slots, but they don't know where is what.
The other thing to keep in mind is I know they just pushed the dates on X-Men and New Mutants back again. So I don't know.
You really think they're going to fuse?
I don't think they're going to do that yet. I think let's put it this way. If Deadpool 2 tanks, that those plans might get moved up.
I don't see that happening.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Not tanking completely, even if it underperforms.
Yeah.
And by the way, what character is Josh Brolin going to play in the Marvel Universe next?
Well, he plays Joss Whedon in the Avengers movie, so I don't know.
I do think he's in the running for Batgirl. So just
everybody's in the running for Batgirl. You
are in the
running for Batgirl.
I know.
Dazzler. My vote is Dazzler.
Is Calendar Man Marvel or DC?
DC.
Okay. The only podcast I can ask the question and get an answer in a second.
But yeah, they just moved the dates on X-Men and New Mutants, so that's in consideration of the Marvel calendar. That's kind of odd, but
there are two more things. I mean, the one thing is, how much are they going to play with? How powerful is the Infinity Gauntlet? There's been a lot of talk about rewriting the canon because you could do that with the Gauntlet, but I don't think
that's how you merge the mutants in, right?
Yeah, possibly, but I don't think that the mass audience is going to buy it if they do too much of that.
Well, they've just got to explain it properly. And backing up real quick to the whole Hulk thing, I was talking about this with Brian as well. I think your problem with the Hulk is he's got to really use the gauntlet to kill Hulk, because while in the comics they've apparently only officially come out and said that the Hulk is immortal, like now we know he's effectively immortal in the MCU because Banner tried to shoot himself in the mouth and it didn't work. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's one bullet.
Now, I know, but I'm saying I don't think Hulk has a healing factor, so I think you would have to kill him, like fucking kill him, like
rip his head off,
like something like that. Basically just reduce him to atoms to get rid of the Hulk.
Well, he has the Infinity Gauntlet, so it's possible.
I mean, have you seen? I don't know if this is new, but a commercial I saw last night, or a new kind of teaser. There was a scene at the very end where Thanos was like propelling through space like Iron Man with the gauntlet like stuck out like Thor's hammer. That I had not seen that little clip before, so I don't know what that means. I just that was interesting to see. We've only kind of seen him grounded in the trailers so far.
Yeah, well, at least he's not flying around in his chair anymore.
Hey, I have the hot toy of that chair. It's wicked. You want me to go get it?
No.
Oh.
But I read an interview because in the UK I bought Empire and a few other movie magazines, and they said that Thanos is actually the main character. So they're approaching the story from his perspective. So we're going to see a lot of Thanos.
I've read that too. Yep.
Which I think is the way to do it, especially since he's had so little screen time. And this whole thing kind of rests on how much you believe or follow this character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially since with the MCU films, the only believably good villains we've had
Loki
are Loki
Killmonger.
Yeah, are Loki and Killmonger. So really, and as much screen time as we think he's going to have in the next 2 films, we need to be able to get under the character's skin a bit. So it makes sense for.
Well, it also helps. It helps from the perspective of they're going to have 50 whatever named heroes, and you go, well, you couldn't make Iron Man or Cap the main character because then you're going to short everyone else. But if you make Thanos the main character, everyone else gets the equal amount of whatever's left.
Well, everything else
is a
reaction to him.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way.
And we know everybody else. Thanos is pretty much the purple guy on the chair so far for most
California
people.
Raisin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was going to say something. I forgot what it was.
I saw at Hot Topic yesterday. Thanos sports bra, Thanos panties, Thanos perfume. And I'm like, is Thanos that well known where Thanos panties is a marketable item?
Really, that is kind of Hot Topic that anything is really on a panty.
I mean,
really,
on the back was just his face, but on the front was the gauntlet with a closed fist. And I'm like, oh, come on.
That's the thing. I was wondering, where is the fist?
Right there in the action. I mean, right there.
That's hilarious.
They did not have my size, unfortunately.
Somebody had to design that. Somebody had to design it and put the fist somewhere.
Jim happy right now.
How much a percentage of that merch do you think? I never.
Not enough. That's how much. That's how much. Not enough. Oh my God.
That's a teaching moment.
Wait a minute.
What did we learn?
Just,
I mean,
learn from history.
Great.
Oh my God.
Infinity panties.
The fist of Thanos.
That's Deadpool 3. It's written itself.
Yeah.
Just to get the smile.
That is Deadpool 3. That's where we integrate when we integrate the MCU.
I have to kind of want Thanos and Deadpool to taunt Cable with them. I mean, think about it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, are we going to see Nick Fury again?
He's in Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Captain Marvel.
With Coulson.
With Coulson, yeah.
With Coulson is confirmed to be.
Yeah, Clark Gregson in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
it's a prequel though.
Yeah, I know it's a prequel.
So
yeah,
he's confirmed.
I want Coulson back in the MCU in our time because fuck that shit. I hate that Marvel is so one directional with out of the movies it goes everywhere, outside of the television it goes nowhere. What the fuck is that?
Well, and I kind of think it's weird that S.H.I.E.L.D. really hasn't had any sort of movie tie-in or mention this year.
Yeah.
Because, wait, Space, Ragnarok, that doesn't count.
Well, it wasn't even current time space. So
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that doesn't even count. Absolutely no mention of Wakanda, and they've been back on Earth how long?
Well, the rumor with S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, or the rumor, I guess is sort of a fact, is that their season finale is written as a series finale. So they may just try to wrap
that in case they are canceled. Yeah.
Yeah. Although ABC's still being cagey about whether or not it's going to get canceled or not, because if they pull the plug on that, they really don't. They don't have anything else on Friday night other than 2020. So you're going to do 3 hours of 2020.
Castle reboot.
Castle reboot.
No. Seriously, that is happening.
What's the cancellation bear say about S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because they're going to cancel Once Upon a Time too, I think.
Oh, yeah,
it's already been canceled once, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's still on.
Yeah,
it's like a completely different show, but it's on.
What?
That's already been canceled. So
yeah, why did they give it one more season?
I don't have any idea why they did that.
Which one? Once Upon a Time or S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, Once Upon a Time.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, it's in house. They own all the properties. The licensing's not that much, and they fired half the cast, so they didn't have to pay for anybody's exorbitant salaries. So,
Hey, Scrubs, how are you?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still has 4 bears chance of being renewed. According to the cancellation bear.
because it holds its own against CBS's wave of nostalgia. Which again is the recurring theme of this podcast. Because CBS is getting what? CBS is going to add Magnum to that pot.
What does CBS air on Friday night?
Blue Bloods.
MacGyver?
Yeah, Blue Bloods, MacGyver.
That's the one. The one with the kid.
5-0 still on Fridays? 5-0 still on Fridays.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. I guess I have nobody on my Plex that watches any of that crap.
Yeah, 5-0 still. I think 5-0 still on Friday.
I definitely don't download any of that.
And MacGyver, and I know they're adding Magnum, but I don't think it's to Fridays next year because Magnum's already been picked up.
Now, is it reboot of Magnum or?
No, it's a reboot of Magnum.
Okay, all right.
It's a reboot of Magnum.
Oh, it's not about the condom then.
Or the ice cream.
Yes, it is. It's so edgy for CBS.
Or the condom that goes over the ice cream.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Ice cream condoms.
It's called Brain Freeze.
And about this way too long.
Someone else is dead.
Yeah. So, but exactly.
Oh wait. So who put A Quiet Place on the agenda?
I don't know. I think that
I'm going to go see that tomorrow, I think.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet.
No, I don't have anybody that would want to go with me to that, so I'm going to go see it by myself. But
right, that was the same problem that I had because I wanted to go see it last week, and then my best bet was my daughter, and she said, "No, I don't want to." But now this week, she did come back with, "Yeah, I'll go see it." So
I want to see it loud. Still really high reviews.
It was like at 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Stephen King liked it, I think. Doesn't mean much, I know.
Yeah, it's still 95%. That's 244 reviews.
How's it doing with the people?
86% audience score.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah, let's see.
It's got a better audience score than Black Panther, but there might be reasons why that it's lower.
Hey, Blockers is 82%. Told you it was good.
Well, if you see the trailer and you go in, you're most likely to like it, I think. So
that's true. Yeah.
Nobody goes.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah. Nobody goes to see Rampage and says, "Well, the plot, the dialogue, not really up to my level."
Yeah, they
want to see crocodiles eating people.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes for Rampage is 51 from the critics, but 81 from the audience. So yeah. Case in point.
Yeah.
Well, and A Quiet Place just broke 100 million domestic. It's done another 50 million, and that's for a $17 million budget. So they're very happy.
That's and Krasinski's going to get another film. Absolutely. So
did he write that one, or was he just
directed it?
He rewrote it. He co-wrote the new version of it.
Oh, okay.
Something that a headline that implied at one point it could have turned into a Cloverfield film. Mm-hmm. So, yep. But
which technically everything's a Cloverfield film.
I hate Cloverfield.
You're not the only one. I'm actually looking forward to his Jack Ryan series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
He's I just watched was it 13 Hours?
When does that start? And is that all the episodes at once, or is this the Amazon scheme of we're still going to do it weekly?
What, Jack Ryan?
Yeah.
That's a good question. If only we had some way to figure that out.
That's the internet.
August 31st, according to Wikipedia, which is always right.
Okay. So did that change? Because I thought that was going to be a lot earlier than that.
I thought it was too. Let me see.
Because they were running Super Bowl ads for that.
Yeah. I don't see an original date, but I
Okay.
did get the feeling it was going to be earlier.
Yeah, because they were running ads in the Super Bowl for that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I want it.
And I did see where Jessica Jones got renewed for a third season.
I want it.
God,
I haven't watched the second season yet.
I gotta watch that.
The second, I think the Netflix shows have all been going down in quality a little bit, and Jessica Jones is sadly no exception. But a little spoiler. Okay, somebody makes a return who's dead, but he's not really alive. He's just a vision. And as soon as somebody who is closely associated with the number 10 shows up, it works again. You really need an antagonist in that show, and David Tennant is brilliant always.
Do you think it's kind of an effect of Defenders, like doing like all of all of the shows, then doing Defenders, then because technically it's a different writing staff, so it shouldn't affect the quality that much. But I think since a lot of the same directors and stuff were used, you think maybe that might have something to do with it?
I don't know if it is the quality per se. It might just be my taste, because Luke Cage, first of all, each show is brilliantly cast. Even Danny Rand is well cast, but he's written poorly. But Luke Cage, I still haven't finished Luke Cage, and I have finished each and every other show because I was just bored with it.
Wow, you finished Iron Fist?
I finished Iron Fist
Holy
because
shit.
it was annoying. That kept me awake.
You deserve a medal or something.
I mean, and I don't like the Punisher as a character, but he's played very well. He's written very well. Actually, Punisher was pretty good. But Jessica Jones season 2 was too much of the same in a way, and they have this anti-movie look. The Marvel movies are all very bright and shiny, and everybody has a good time, even though they're dying. I don't know why.
And the New York verse is a bit dark.
Not just dark; it's just grim and gloomy, which I like. But once in a while, you could throw a joke in there, or have one character who's a comic relief. I mean, I think in Defenders, Stick is actually the funniest character, and
Stick is fantastic.
He's an asshole, but you like him, especially when especially that dialogue when Danny Rand says, "I cannot find my chi." Well, just relax and breathe in, and you will find it. It's not that easy. Yes, actually, it is. That's
I think
best moment,
and that's Micro's role. I think in Punisher too. The Micro Punisher dynamic keeps that lighter than it could have been.
That's the thing. You need something of somebody you can bounce off of. And Jessica Jones needs that too. It had it in Tenet in the first season, and in the second season, for most episodes, you lose that. And I don't really care about what's her face, the lawyer lady,
Carrie-Anne Moss character.
Yeah, Carrie-Anne Moss. I don't care about the character at all. I don't care about that. And there was a very pointless cameo by Matt Murdock's colleague that did nothing for me.
Foggy.
Although I like. Yeah, Foggy. Yeah. I love the character. I love the cast, but it's pointless sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know why they do it that way. And sometimes it feels like the first few episodes of Iron Fist, where you knew, okay, that the main character, the main actor knew he was going to play this 2 weeks before they started shooting or something.
Yeah, sometimes didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, and sometimes it feels like they never had enough time to do a rewrite, to do something else, or to do a new edit. And they still have this one mood that all the images give you, and it works, of course, in a way, but I just feel like they have more potential than what I see as a final product. Sorry, I've been rambling on.
No, I mean, fine. I think we were just talking last weekend that Widge and I haven't seen Jessica Jones, but basically since the first Jessica Jones, it's been a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
And I know I feel a lot like, because Daredevil season 2 got inserted into the production schedule, they still had to produce Defenders by date X, and everything just felt rushed and of less quality.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't really like Defenders.
As time went on.
Yeah, I didn't really like Defenders, which was very disappointing. You know, I watched it and it was, you know, it was fine, but it wasn't great. And then Punisher was almost its own thing. And, you know, it's set that way too. Yeah.
Well, that's why I was.
So
that's why I was
can
asking.
relate.
That's why I was asking the question about Defenders, because Punisher was actually independent of.
Yep.
Was produced independently and on its own time scale from Daredevil season 2 and Defenders.
Funny, it shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of brought that up, because I know in the case of Defenders, Defenders used a lot of the same directors from both Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I think partially at least one of the directors from Luke Cage. So stylistically, it feels a little all over the place. And then when you go back to the other shows, which Jessica's the first one, it kind of looks, it feels a bit stale, I think is where you're going at it.
Yep.
And that seems, part of it feels like, or at least sounds like, it may have had something to do with what you're saying, like Defenders. We put Defenders in here, Defenders as a date, but we still greenlit all this other stuff. So,
well, and I think it's, let's not forget too, that the biggest problem that the MCU has is a villain problem, right? And the same is true in these shows. It's no, I mean, we've got Tennant and Wilson Fisk, D'Onofrio were far and away the two best villain performances in those, and those are the two best seasons that they're at. And so the lack of any compelling villain plot really does, I mean, no one cared about the villain in Iron Fist. And the Luke Cage villain keeps changing hands throughout that show that you can't get invested in anything.
The problem with the New York shows and the villains is that because in the comics there's a lot of crossover between obviously the New York, all of the New York characters, particularly the Spider-Man villains,
right,
and some of the other villains that for Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, they all sort of share the same kind of rogues gallery. So part of your problem is there are some of the rogues you can't use because they're tied in with Spider-Man.
Here's an idea. Make one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah. Or just give D'Onofrio what he needs to let Wilson Fisk be like Loki and be like a through line through all of it.
And also what they didn't manage to do, I think what they tried to do was create something of a syndicate, create something that has no face, but is a threat and is omnipresent, but it never felt really compelling. It never felt like you have a paranoia going on. Who are these guys? I don't know, but they're powerful. This fear never really existed. It just felt like, okay, it's Tuesday. And that doesn't really work. Okay, so we fixed all the problems in the MCU on Netflix. What's next? Well,
I would say we could tackle DC, but that would take another 20 hours.
Jesus.
Steppenwolf was right. Hashtag.
Why couldn't he win?
I loved his backstory so much.
We can, if Flashpoint does happen, and we get Negan Batman and a Maggie Joker, that'd be excellent. By the way, Negan is with The Rock in Rampage, and he is very much Negan in that movie.
Yeah, it's
all the way Negan.
I don't know that he can't do that character at this point.
Right.
I stopped watching Walking Dead after the first season. Sorry, I'm out.
Negan is just the comedian. So, I mean...
Yeah, I know Negan. It's kind of like, who's Harley Quinn? You cannot get around him. Everybody with a baseball bat is very, very well known. Just works that way, it seems.
I will say it's worth watching the show until the magic dumpster, and then you just leave.
You know, I watched the first season, and it was very well made, but I was bored by zombies. You know, it's not a threat that is entertaining to me anymore.
Well, you have to. The zombies aren't a threat to the people anymore, which isn't too terribly far from where the people are the threat. That's when it changes.
I mean, that's the standard trope that the people are the actual threat, but the horror element of the zombies is still what the normal audience is attracted to, and it's still in the show, of course. And also, I'm kind of, it doesn't feel like this is going to end well, and I'm not much for those stories. I have to say.
there's no good. There's no good ending to that. There's no positive outcome.
And I think to your point about the zombies are the source of horror. I mean, they are and they're not. And I was so excited when after the prison arc in the television show, Rick echoed what he said in the comic, where he basically makes the speech at The Walking Dead. We're the ones who are, the real corpses. We just haven't laid down yet. And to me, that's like, if you're still watching the show at that point and expecting the show to be about zombies, then I don't know how they could have made it clearer.
So none of us, other than I, watch Walking Dead currently. Nobody watched the finale the other day.
No. Spoilers. Don't care.
Does anyone care?
No.
I know what happens. So
did you hear the very last scene? What happened?
Yes. Yes, I did.
The hilltop heel turn.
Yep.
Including Daryl, which could be the death knell of the show if they come through with that. I don't think that audience is too pleased with that. Sorry, John. Chicken. We won't talk about it.
Oh, God.
You back? You done?
Oh,
I thought something crawled into your ear.
No, because I did watch the.
It's the thing from Wrath of Khan. It found him,
and that's why Porky Bear is the best Care Bear of all.
I do watch The Walking Dead. I just want to make sure I didn't spoil anything for myself. I'm just like I don't know, probably 3 or 4 episodes behind.
Yeah, it's okay. You're 2 episodes before the aliens show up. Oh shit! Sorry.
That could possibly save it.
So we'll save this conversation, John, until you get current. Then we'll have it.
So you don't want to know that Pam wakes up and finds Carl in the shower.
But John Connor wasn't really dead.
Carl was actually never in the house.
No, Carl was in the shower the whole damn time.
What was
with the Wicked Witch of the West?
Did we
told you to knock.
Did we talk about the new Solo trailer already? Because that new trailer is pretty good.
It is.
It's significantly better than the first trailer.
The Solo Orlando story.
Hey, I'm an Emilia Clarke fan, so I was already in, but I'm way in now.
The Childish Gambino story.
Childish Landino.
He's so charming and he's so perfectly cast. Who could be angry at him?
That's fantastic. No, I'm loving it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Something I can watch him in that I can follow better than Atlanta, which is still funny, but kind of surreal. So,
boy, Atlanta can go push those buttons though. Any button it wants to at any point.
Yeah. But Lover's awesome.
The Solo, I was on the fence, like at the Super Bowl trailer. I was like, I'm not sure about this, but I think it may pull a Rogue One and be better than the continuity ones, at least for me. I think Rogue One is the best of the 3 that we've had so far.
Of the new ones?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. I don't share that opinion, but I can totally see that.
And I like all 3, but Rogue One just had me gripped for like an hour. The last hour, I couldn't look away.
Yeah. For the last hour, I was like, okay, how are they going to die?
Yeah. Yeah, you knew what was going to happen, and yet you still were into it.
Now, I was into it, but I was kind of bummed because we knew that each and every one of them would die. I mean, they could have kind of let the droid survive, that would have been impossible.
Yeah.
He was also the coolest character, so
yes,
that would work for me.
Solo.
What we've learned about Dom so far is that he's not into the bleak. He's not into the bleak endings.
Likes fire though,
unless they all die.
Fire.
That's fine with me. It can be a happy end, and everybody dies. Everybody on the Death Star died.
And just as a counterpoint, he does have a Stephen King poster behind his head.
Everybody on the Death Star died.
Yeah, everybody on the Death Star died.
It's all the contractors on the Death Star, Brian.
Yeah.
That's true.
High five. But the Solo trailer is great, especially because they. Oh, hi! For the first
Windows
time,
10?
they brought in a real good Chewbacca Han moment, a really good one.
Yeah.
How old are you? That was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And that was the first time for me that our new Han Solo kind of worked for me. You know, that actor, he has the weight of the world on his shoulders, so he gets a pass anyway.
Right.
But that was the first moment he delivered for me.
Yeah,
So-
it's the first time if it wasn't called Solo that you were like, oh, there's Han Solo. There he is.
Mhm.
As opposed to you're telling me this is Han Solo, but I don't see it.
Now they have to fix the stupid font and the music, and then everything's good.
Interesting. If we think back to Rogue One, there was a lot of controversy towards the end there because they had to go back and do a bunch of reshoots.
Yeah, like right up at the
Right, and everyone's like, "Oh, this thing must really, really suck." But then they did manage, obviously, to pull it out and to make a movie that I wouldn't even know. I'm curious as to what they actually reshot.
Well, if I understand it correctly, it was a bleaker ending.
Right, it was darker. Disney told them it had to not be so dark.
It didn't
Everybody
have,
survived.
well, it didn't have the it didn't have I believe it didn't have the Leia coda.
Okay.
It,
Yeah, well, it gives
the
it
original-
a nice send off. So
Yeah. It didn't have the Leia coda, and it apparently the ending was a lot bleaker than the ending we actually got. Which
But you could make the deaths more gruesome, of course. Always.
yeah, I think there was I think the beach I think they reshot
The beach scene I could see being
scene.
added. Yeah.
They reshot the beach scene because I know there were bits of the beach scene that they went back and redid. I think they wanted to be more clear about several characters' deaths.
I'm just glad they gave us that Vader scene because it was awesome. And why we didn't get an equivalent Luke scene in this most recent moment similar to that Vader scene makes me sad. Vader scene was awesome.
Yeah, the Vader scene was done in reshoots, and it was the idea of the cinematographer.
Yeah,
which I think was great.
Wow, that's sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I'm just laughing because nobody. I mean, cinematographers are great and important, but nobody of the writers thought, could we bring Darth Vader in and do more?
Right.
Why? I mean, it's a given. He's alive. You don't need to cast him. He doesn't even have to say anything necessarily.
You just need a guy in a costume walking down an alley.
David Prowse is like, I'm here. I can do this.
You guys, call me. You guys.
Hello.
Guys?
Hello.
Yeah, actually, it's like, okay, you guys.
They have a new Vader helmet prop replica like this Infinity Gauntlet that just came out that does the voice changing too. That's going to have to get purchased. Full on, can go on the head and everything.
I see a very mixed up cosplay in your future with a Vader helmet, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, I've got the Iron Man helmet and the Star-Lord helmet and the hammer and the shield.
He's a super scroll of Disney.
Yeah, I have all of them.
It's going to be like a disco. It's going to be a disco crossover character.
Yeah, Disco Inferno.
Oh, get him like the disco
Disco
ball.
Dazzler.
No, it's the disco ball. The thing that I've seen at ThinkGeek, the disco ball Death Star.
The Death Star, yes.
Get like the disco ball Death Star and like the gauntlet.
and then you have to have the Han Solo and Carbonite mini fridge for the beer.
I think you still need to get the Dazzler roller skates though, and the bell bottoms.
Cheekless chaps.
And maybe the Thanos perfume.
Yeah, that's true.
Just for the
I
feel of
gotta Gotta spend my hot cash.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So recommendations.
Absolutely. Boob. You did, Robo-Me. It was very clear. All right, recommendations. Tuffley, what have you got?
I'm doing a little bit of what you normally do, Edge. Because
I'm so sorry. Please see a doctor.
I'm catching up to something that came out last year.
Oh, okay.
Particularly SZA's Control album, which is really good. I kind of missed it when it came out, and I've only kind of became familiar with SZA since she did the song with Kendrick Lamar on the Black Panther soundtrack. But it's really good. It's really kind of hip hop soul, which usually something I'm not into a whole lot, but I really liked it. So the album's called Control, and it's from SZA, which I liked. And I'll also recommend Kerbal Space Program for consoles. They've just released it. It's been out on PC forever, but it's basically cutesy build your own space program, which is kind of cool, and kind of enjoy that. Kind of a mindless sort of build your own kind of rocket sort of thing, and you can get very complex about it. So you can go from stupid hobby toy stuff to building your own space program and exploring the galaxy in kind of a real-time-ish sort of thing, which is a bit weird, but people do it. But it's fun, and it's also these little guys that make faces and react as you are either succeeding or failing in the mission. So, like, if you're in a launch position, they have like the little camera feeds. So if your ship is about to blow up, or if you do something wrong, you can see the characters starting to freak out on camera, which is great. So a lot of fun. Kerbal Space Program out for the consoles. And I think that's all I've got for now. Oh, wait, no. Ed Piscor's X-Men Grand Design is the first part of that is out.
Is that good?
Oh, yeah.
Grand Design?
Yeah, Grand Design is great. If you've ever thought about getting into X-Men mythology but thought to yourself, I am not going to plow into 30 years of this stuff, this is for you. The first book's out, and if you're familiar with Hip Hop Family Tree, it is that same size graphic novel. It's that same size of book. So if you have those, it'll go well with that on your shelf. But it basically takes the whole of like X-Men mythology through the 90s, and he's blending it into one narrative. Which you know this. Yeah. That challenge accepted. Someone did it.
Wow.
So it's the first. This covers the first two books. The graphic novel, the collection covers the first two issues of this, which is basically the original team.
Right.
So it starts with that, and then the second book that starts to come out as singles in July starts with the new team, which is fun. And the collection also comes with Ed recolored the first issue of original X-Men, which is really nice, and it blends in with the format of what he was doing. So X-Men Grand Design Book 1, that's out. It's beautiful. The packaging is great as well, and it's a damn fun read. So go check that out.
Cool. Thanks, Stephanie. Nice. Dom, what have you got?
I've got music and a little bit about shopping in Birmingham. First of all, if you like 90s rock music, I would say check out the debut album by a band of the 90s, The Frame, Still We Play On. You can find that on Bandcamp. theframe2018.bandcamp.com. It's worth a shot. There's a typo in the description, but hey, we won't hold that against them. And the vocals are presented by One Widget Walls, whoever that is.
Some guy.
Good Lord.
Some guy.
Oh, I hate that guy.
It's your boss, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. What an asshole.
Then I was recently in Birmingham, UK, not around your parts, because I know by Google, if you don't put in UK, you will find out there is a lot of stuff going on in Birmingham that's not going on in Birmingham, UK. And they have, first of all, they have a great Forbidden Planet, a Forbidden Planet that is clean, which is kind of weird in the UK and pretty big. But they also have Nostalgia and Comics, which is a really good comic book store. It's pretty big. They have a good staff. So if you are there, I don't gain anything from this. We actually just spend money there. And they actually suggested that we buy Black Sad, which is a very beautiful comic. that they pitched to us in a very heartwarming way, and it's. I don't want to talk too much about it because I haven't read it yet, but it looks really good, and it's done in watercolors. It has a high level of detail. It's really, really nicely done. And I recall when he showed it to me, I said, it looks a little bit like Disney noir. And he said, yeah, one of the guys actually worked for Disney for a few years. So you will see that in all the cats and all the birds that he's drawing because it's anthropomorphized. It's really, really nice. And yeah, I'm already done. Ding. Whatever.
Cool. Thank you, Dom. Brian, what have you got for us?
Well, I got to put a button on Dom there.
Thank you.
Greetings.
I know her.
Very seductive.
Watch
Tell
it.
her hi.
Oh, hey. So a comic book, Mr. Miracle, number 8 comes out tomorrow as we're filming this, April 18th. Tom King is writing it. Tom King currently is writing Batman for DC, and Tom King has done a lot of stuff, but fairly recently did the 12 series Vision for Marvel, which was universally acclaimed. It's very, very good. I think it's going to be a 12-issue run, and it is dealing with Mr. Miracle like wanting to be able to die and struggling with being that he can't die. And then it has a lot of the New God storyline in it. So I would recommend that. I like Tom King a lot, and his work on Batman actually right now is really good. I'm a big fan of the DC Rebirth stuff, so that's it. Then Skybound released about a week ago a new coffee table book, The Quotable Negan from The Walking Dead, which I pre-ordered. And so I think it's just a coffee table book. You open up and there's different quotes from Negan, comic Negan, which will be fantastic. So I'd recommend that. And then for TV, we've got Westworld Season 2 returning Sunday. And I'm very excited for that.
It's really just Rachel Evan Wood saying never going to give you up.
The first season of Westworld is great and holds up on a second watch, probably holds up on a third watch. And then also current right now is Legion Season 2, which is impossible to talk about, define, describe, but is well worth giving it an hour every week. Season 2 so far has been just mind-bending, even beyond what the first season was.
Like 3 episodes in and you still don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Or know what's going on. Yeah, but it's not one of those you don't know what's going on and you don't like it. It's you don't know what's going on and you're completely there for it. So those are my recommendations.
Panties.
Yeah,
obviously.
Perfect. Okay, cool. John, what have you got for us?
I can tell you that if you've ever wondered if you can buy boxes on Amazon, well, wonder no more. You can, in fact, buy moving boxes on Amazon. I suggest moving. I suggest trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to pack all this shit up and get it over to someplace else. By the time we record,
can you hire people to pack boxes?
Yeah,
on Amazon, probably.
Probably.
I actually didn't look. Is there a professional with professional install?
Oh.
Alternatively, buy the flamethrower.
Cheap moving box.
You know, just go
buy cheap moving box.
Just go over to Rox's house and free your captives.
They already have a job. I think.
I do like Dom's idea of just getting Brian's Red Dragon flamethrower and just torching the place. Except it's a apartment that I'm currently in.
Actually, what you do is just you borrow Brian's gauntlet, you blink half the universe out, and then you blink it back to your house. And then that way you haven't really done anything and it's all there.
So we got the moving boxes, and also, hey, you can also buy water softeners on to install at your new place. So you can check that out at needcoffee.com/Amazon/how the hell am I going to get all this stuff over there? And will I be paying at the end?
Stool softener?
Yes, stool softener.
If you happen to be in the Tampa area and would like to help John move,
or with his stool, I suppose.
And that is where you go. That's all I had, Widge.
That's all you have? Okay. All right. Cool. I'm sorry. I was just...
No. Cheap moving boxes. Literally,
I was searching.
I was already on the page that Brian sent me, which was brand cheap moving boxes.
Cheap moving boxes.
I was too busy searching for stool softeners. All right, so John's correct in that if you go to needcoffee.com/Amazon and you go there, but that's what you meant in your heart of hearts, in the subcockle region of your heart.
Oh, subcockle.
You got it. Then you wind up on the front page of Amazon, and we get kickbacks for whatever you purchase there. My recommendations, first of all, something to get on Amazon is Criterion has a Blu-ray of The Virgin Suicides coming out. An excellent film, excellent soundtrack, and as I mentioned before, when in preparation for eventually seeing the movie Annihilation, I read that book first because I couldn't wait. Same thing with Virgin Suicides, and the book is amazing, and so is the movie. So, looking forward to that when that comes out. I think it's next week. And on Netflix, I recommend you see anything by Greg Davies because he's a very sick man and hilarious, especially his first special, which is called Firing Cheese Balls at a Dog. But Netflix has his latest one, which is called You Meg. And it's hilarious. And Doc pinged me before I finished it to say that it had completely broken him. So I highly recommend watching that. It's so very wrong in so many ways.
What was the name of that again?
It's Greg Davies. Why? What? What?
Euripides, it sounded like.
Your connection has better timing than most comedians.
God damn it!
Both times it's just okay. Let's try it again. What is the title of that show?
Greg Davies. You magnificent beast.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Subcockle.
You know, when you edit this, just put the word. Just have someone saying the word redacted over it. Just like, Greg Davies redacted.
The best part is it did it both times and only on that part of the title.
God damn it.
Facebook really does not want you to advertise for that.
No, apparently not. Goddamn Russians.
The internet is resisting your virus, Wedge.
Well, it got its flu shot. What can I say? So,
MCP when you
did we ever finish introductions?
I think most people who have introduced themselves have left. So,
yes. So there you have it. I think now we've come to the week of justice. Terrifying to consider. But I think now that we've reached okay, fine. You can't understand connection. Somebody else do the ending. John, you end it.
Oh, you end it.
No, I can't.
Maple glaze.
Well, it's been an interesting evening.
Until next time, let's say.
900 years old, you reach earthhood. You are not.
Good night, Cleveland.
Infinity panties.
No more airplanes.
It is cast out. God damn it.
Albatross.
Stop the podcast.
Now play some Udo Lindenberg. Come on.
Okay, hold on.
And now
he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
And now here to play us out.
Don't ever scare him to do anything.
Jeden Morgen stehst du auf und kippst den Kaffee runter. Deine Träume aufgebraucht. Du glaubst nicht mehr an Wunder.
That's great music to start smoking to.
Because what?
If you want to start smoking, that's great music to do that. It's just like Amy Mann.
Vape.
No, it's sort of close your garage door. And oh, never mind. Just roll down the windows. Close the garage door. Breathe it all in.
Leave the engine running.
Just take it all in.
Relax. It's going to be over soon.
Hey, is Widge back yet?
I'm here!
Can we start introductions now?
God damn it!
Should I have recorded any of this?
Ah!
Oh, were we supposed to be recording?
My therapist is going to be pissed.
Is your therapist also your boss?
We don't like to talk about it, but yes.
That's going to be very interesting when you do your taxes.
Well, the deductible.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, the copay and the deductible.
If you live by a river, but you only have one room.
What?
Sorry, Black Books, flashbacks. What can I do? I watched that too many times.
I've never been up at 10:30. What happens?
That's all my socks sorted. Back to the taxes.
Oh, God.
Can we just do a line reading for Black Book scripts now?
Deep thoughts. No.
Let us run away.
All right.
Run away from here.
That was fun.
Yes. And I'll kick my router next time.
Oh, you sound fine now.
I know!
Sounds like you're sitting right beside me, clear as can be.
God damn it! Son of a bitch!
I'm glad you asked me to be on this. It's almost 6:30 in the morning.
That's true. It's like Thursday where you are.
Wednesday.
Aquamarine.
You know, time zones and you will never really mix.
No, not really.
Looking forward to when you ever visit Europe.
Is that a thimble?
What's that?
I said I'm looking forward to the time when you might visit Europe.
Oh, yes.
Let's go. Hey, I've got a companion ticket, Widge. Let's go. I'm in.
I'm happy to go over there when I think we could actually get back in the.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's true.
As soon as they said for traveling to the US that you have to put your social accounts on the application, I knew I wasn't even able to come to the US anymore. The stuff I twittered about, you know who? Yeah, kind of mean. Not sure that he will understand it, but it's kind of mean.
Well, with any luck, in a couple of years, it'll all be gone.
The whole country?
Probably.
If the way it's going, sure.
I see a magic mouse.
Do you have an apple?
John does. I do have an apple, but I see a magic mouse behind John.
Oh, there. Yeah. All this has got to go.
To save the day. I know that's another mouse.
And
all right, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Touch yourself.
Squeeze it.
Oh la la. Somebody say, God, that felt good. Oh man.
It's so sad that you cannot hear a face palm.
I want that gym toy. I want it. I'm gonna find a gym action figure. Gotta exist, right? It's gotta exist. It's gotta exist.
It's kind of creepy.
Let's see. Gym action figure.
Welcome
You buy
to
worms on him. Why is the #1 Black Panther in vibranium suit when I search
Brian
for
is
gym
looking for
action?
toys. Will he find the toys Brian is looking for? Let's find out. Brian, what toys are you looking for?
What? G.I. Joe 212, Jim and the Holograms versus Zartan.
Brian has found a special item.
$130, by the way.
All right, good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good day to you, Dom, over there.
I'll go to bed too.
Oh, Naked Olympics.
As always.